Football season be the reason that I be bringing this heat. Georgia music representing 104.3. Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. It is what's today? Wednesday?
Today's Wednesday.
A Wednesday afternoon. Crowder, do we have you today? That is what I think everybody wants to know. Is Channing Crowder with us?
Wow.
Oh, all right. So I guess
yo.
Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. That's apparently
Jimmy held out on me yesterday. I sat around for an hour staring at a black screen with whirly circles.
We're gonna have to figure out what went wrong yesterday. I have to figure out how I'm gonna recover from my favorite team. Like, without a doubt, Uruguay is really the only team I'm still emotional about. And it was the biggest ass kicking in the history of my country, and I paid money to go watch it. I've spent 9 hours in the car over the past 24 hours to go watch my country suffer the most humiliating defeat at probably the worst country I could suffer that defeated because I live here.
Right, and it was basically the first team for Uruguay lost to basically the Seattle Sounders yesterday.
Literally. Crowder, go ahead. Say every time I bring up Uruguay, Crowder defaults to one joke. Go ahead, Crowder.
Aren't you from Argentina?
All right, now we can move on. I'm glad we got that out of the
way.
It's
a great joke. It's a good line.
Yeah, I'm glad we got that out of the way. Right on cue. Well done, everybody. Good work.
I didn't know y'all dislike each other, man. It's fun to me.
Hawk is in Disney World. Now, I'm going to peel the curtain back here, Crowder, for you, because you weren't in Monday. You've been traveling, and Pell wasn't here. He told me, hey, I'm going to Disney. What park should I go to? I don't know. And I told him, bro, go to Epcot. Like, enough. I get the shtick. I love it. Great radio bit. Like, it's great, but you're going to love Epcot. And he was telling me, I didn't even know he'd want me to review this, but he was telling me, yeah, we're probably going to end up going to Epcot because what else are we going to do? Like, we're going to go to Magic Kingdom and ride Dumbo.
I love the idea of Hawk and his wife riding Guardians of the Galaxy and waiting in the line for that.
Great ride, by the way.
Oh, great ride.
But I told him, Crowder, I said, hey, like, cut the crap behind the scenes. Go to Epcot. Nobody has to know you were there. Go to Epcot.
Wear a disguise.
And have a couple drinks. You're gonna love the food. You walk around. It's not even that hot, and you're gonna love it. And he said, "Well, we'll see. Maybe." Appel was just telling me, Crowder, that Hawk is at Animal Kingdom. I haven't been on my phone at all today, so he's at Animal Kingdom.
He's at Animal Kingdom.
What's he doing? Like, of all the parks to choose,
Animal
Kingdom.
He sent us a video by the big tree that's in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah,
Tree of life.
He called it the Circle of Tree. I was singing the Circle of Life, but Circle of Tree instead.
Because I wasn't in. I was on the air, but y'all were together. Him and Lori went, just two grown people.
Yeah. So he doesn't seem like the type. Like, it's dangerously close to Disney adult situation here, which I'm fine with, as long if you're like an adult who like just goes every now and again, like Hawk and Lori are. I'm cool with that.
Well, I don't think they go. I mean, I think this is first time.
That's what I'm saying, because there's a difference between being a Disney adult and going to Disney as an adult, and I think they are going to Disney as adults here, not necessarily Disney adults.
Well, I don't know the difference. I think it's weird either way, Josh. Two grown people walking around Animal Kingdom with no children.
Disney adults are the ones that wear the ears still and have the annual pass, and they're going once a month, and it's their entire identity. No hate, but not for me. Going to Disney as an adult is just what Hawk and his wife are doing. They're just going to Disney.
For what?
I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that, Crowder.
I do.
My brother, who was here, he is a Disney adult. Like, he loves Disney, knows everything about Disney. I haven't been to Disney in 8 years. Pre-pandemic, so it's been a while, since like 2018. But I grew up going to Disney. I thought I would be Disney adult guy, like annual pass. I'm up there every other weekend. That part of my life has escaped me. I'm not very interested anymore of going. But Crowder, there's nothing wrong with Hawk and Lori. They probably didn't even pay for their tickets because Hawk's big time. And they're up in Orlando for something else. And they're like, hey, let's go check out a park. There's nothing wrong with that.
Does their chaperone bring them diced peaches and juice boxes as well?
So you would
where are
never
you
go,
going?
like, You
No,
would never
hell
go.
no.
You would never go. Let's just say you're up in Orlando, and your daughter has a basketball game, and Asia is gonna take your daughter and your son to the basketball game, and you have a couple hours to kill, and you're with, I don't know, Fred Taylor. You and Fred wouldn't just say, "Hey, let's just go. Let's go to Animal Kingdom."
How about Avatar a couple times? We're
Yeah,
gonna ride it
let's
twice.
go ride Avatar a couple times. If you had free tickets, you wouldn't do that.
That's ridiculous. No, I'm not doing that. And you look weird. You look crazy. When I see grown people because I take kids. I got a 14, 12, and a 5-year-old. Y'all know that. So we go to Disney. We go to all the kingdoms and the Universals and everything in Orlando. When I see grown people, I automatically start looking around them. Or if they're staring at a ride, like, oh, you have to be waiting for children. There's no way y'all two grown asses came over here by yourselves. It's ridiculous. And the people that put the ears on and all, they're just missing something from their childhood. They need to have therapy with their parents if you're wearing ears at 40 years old.
I hope Hawk sends us a picture at some point of him in the ears. That'd be perfect.
Well, he's there specifically to troll and to
Oh,
work
of course.
bits,
That's what I'm
so
saying.
It's gonna happen
Oh.
at some point. It's
He
for
might
sure
get
gonna
beat up because he's going to say something slick to somebody that works there.
happen. Well, the Disney adults, they take that stuff very seriously, very, very seriously.
Let him go ask a Disney adult. Hey, this is the tree, the circle of tree, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you. What do they call it? The happiest place in the world, the nicest place on earth.
Isn't that
Those
Publix?
employees don't take that. Those employees don't take that to heart. Now, them employees got a little edge to them.
Isn't that Publix happiest place? What's it called? Oh, public shopping is a pleasure. Yeah. Happens to be a phenomenal, just an absolutely phenomenal tagline. Sports Talk, which we haven't gotten to yet, on WQM is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. On the show today, we do have Zach Gelb coming up in this hour. Coach L, every Wednesday at 3:30, he'll stop by. There's a Heat game tonight against the Golden State Warriors. I'll read everybody the updated injury report on that one. We're all kind of wondering, is Jimmy Butler going to play? Is Steph Curry going to play? I'll have that for you in a second. Chris Whittingham is going to join us. Probably absolute worst timing for me because I'm sure he's going to talk glowingly about the United States men's national team, which they do deserve, by the way. It was a utter ass-kicking, again, of my La Celeste last night. But Inter Miami does play a winner-go-home match, a playoff match, Eastern Conference semifinal, this upcoming Sunday versus FC Cincinnati, right, Appel? Do I have that correct? And
Yes.
we're going to talk to Whitty about it and preview that and talk a little bit about the U.S. men's national team, again, who had probably the greatest victory in any friendly in U.S. history. I'm talking specifically friendly.
Damn.
I mean, that doesn't trump World Cup matches and Gold Cup wins, but I'm talking just friendlies against legitimate competition, a team who has won a World Cup in the past. I have some numbers I'll go through a little bit later. But Josh Appel is with us today. He filled in excellently yesterday. We might have had a fart situation live on the air. Crowder, my dad, I was in a hotel room up in Tampa, and I joined Appel since, apparently Wi-Fi and laptops don't work in Vegas. I jumped on with Appel, so you didn't have to
Happens
4
every
hours by
time.
itself. And and my dad, I'm sharing a room with my dad, and we're up there for the game, and my dad just was changing from a t-shirt into his Uruguay jersey, and is just walking around our screen yesterday without a shirt on, which was just, again, the Solanas are not escaping the weirdo accusations anytime soon. And I kind of, in the middle of it, Appel's cracking up, and I turn around, I'm like, Bobby, what are you doing, dude? Like, get out of here. Go change.
We're
over
on the
there.
air.
We're in a suite. Like, what, why are you here?
He was in the pickleball suite.
Yeah. I'll talk about that later, our friend Victor. But I'm fascinated with this story, Crowder. I want to get your take on it. Shedeur Sanders is going to start on Sunday. So let's do headlines. Maybe Appel can start with that. Headlines are sponsored by Doral Hyundai, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit us at Doral Hyundai or at DoralHyundai.com. Appel's going to do headlines for us today. Thank you, Appel.
You're welcome, by the way. Yeah, Shedeur Sanders is going to get his first career start this Sunday for the Browns after he debuted in the fourth quarter and the second half against the Ravens last weekend and did not look very good outside of a couple of plays. The impossible 3rd and 10 completion he had that was a 3-yard crossing route that Jerry Jeudy turned into a first down. So Shedeur Sanders will get his first start on Sunday for Cleveland, and now we can put to bed the ridiculous what do you want to call it? Talking point that Shedeur Sanders has had no reps, and he's a non-debut, and they're sabotaging him. Now he's got a full week of preparation to be the starter on Sunday.
Yeah, and the whole situation, it's crazy for him to get 0 reps because as an organization, you should prepare that a guy, Dillon Gabriel, is the size of a Coke can. It's a chance somebody knocks his little ass out. So I do think that guy should be prepared to play. I'm not saying he has to take 90 snaps equal with Gabriel, but they should have said, hey, we don't have Flacco. Gabriel's a starter. Damn, it's a chance that Shedeur gets in. Maybe he should at least know the playbook and not just run scout team. I'm glad he has a week under his belt, and I will say it now. I don't think Dillon Gabriel gets his job back after Shedeur is prepared to play this game because he's more physically talented than Dillon Gabriel.
They're going on the road to Vegas to take on the Raiders, but Crowder, is it that crazy though? They drafted a quarterback 2 rounds higher, so wouldn't every rep with the first team for him, if they're preparing him as the starter, be of the utmost importance? I don't feel like it. I was saying yesterday, it's not rare that the 5th round quarterback doesn't get any first team reps as a rookie from camp, mini camp, all the way until now.
Oh no, Josh, when it was Flacco, Gabriel, him, don't get a paper cut, Shedeur. You're never touching this field. Hold that pad and put that little plug in your ear. Once they trade Flacco, once you give Gabriel the reins and Shedeur's number 2, and you already know through camp, to your point, through camp he wasn't getting much burn, maybe start bringing him in. Maybe have some walkthroughs. Maybe knowing that he's your backup quarterback, and at a snap, if anybody knows it, we know it in Miami, at a snap of a finger, he could be your starter. So for the whole – and I heard I'm with you on they're making a big story out of this, Josh. Like
it's hurting him more than it's helping him.
It's it's a sabotage of his career. Is it mismanagement? Yes. But let's say bringing in Flacco, drafting a guy in the 3rd round and drafting him in 5th round, that was already the start of mismanagement. So the Browns are going to mismanage any of this crap. But for him to honestly, knowingly be the backup for a month now with Flacco being gone, and the stories that come out, which that's the crazy thing. I saw somebody would come out at some point and say, hey, Shedeur's had some reps. He's not going to have many reps as a starter. That's obvious. But he has had some reps. He has thrown the ball to Jerry Jeudy. He has worked with Njoku in some 7-on-7 drills. No one's came out and said it. That's what's crazy to me. But the mismanagement of it, they've been mismanaging this franchise for 2 decades.
Right. I find the over-the-top defense of everything to be mind-numbing, and again sets him up for failure if he doesn't live up to the ridiculous expectations and the excuse making that's out for him already.
Oh yeah, and if he plays well, he's the next Joe Montana. If he struggles, he's a bust. It's going to be extremes with Shedeur his whole career.
Yeah, and it obviously it's a lot of what happened with him and his dad in college, and the story of him at the draft. But I mean, I said it yesterday, and I don't want to repeat myself, but like watching him on Sunday, it looked like, I don't want to be too harsh on him, but like it looked like last year where like I'm watching Skylar Thompson and just the game is just moving way too fast for him, way too fast, and he can't really process it. So hopefully with a week of reps, and it turns out better against a really bad Raider team.
Yeah, I just from my standpoint, I only watched a couple of the snaps. I didn't watch the entirety of him out there. But when I find out, and Crowder had pointed it out on Monday, that he hadn't taken a single rep with the first team, which, by the way, I'm not even blaming.
It's not that
Stefanski,
rare.
Right? Orlovsky had kind of dug deep into this. He said, "Hey, he's the 3rd string quarterback, and the 2nd string is a rookie."
Right. So who they drafted higher.
Right. So how do you just automatically assume? But I thought Crowder's point on Monday was astute, which was okay, but he was the backup going into a game on Sunday. He was the backup. And at some point, he's the backup. He should be getting some reps, because if not, you get what you got the other day, which was a 10-point lead evaporates because your quarterback can't move the ball and you lose a football game. But either way, I don't think it's fair to judge him again, as somebody who has no skin in the game here, I don't think it's fair to judge him at all based on that one performance.
The only
one of the
one, go ahead.
I was just saying quickly, one of the reasons why I started as a rookie was because I knew what Zach Thomas had to do every play. Because if Zach gets hurt, I could go call the defense. I could play Mike too. And they made that a, it was Nick Saban. There was no fluffy, lovey-dovey hugs. There was, you better know what the hell to do with Mike, or your ass is gonna be on the bench. Like you prepare. Nobody wanted Zach Thomas to get hurt. He's a Hall of Famer. Nobody wanted JT and them boys to get hurt. They're Hall of Famers. But if they do get hurt, so he is the third string, Josh, week 1. Going into Sunday's game, he was not the third string. He was your backup, and he is also a rookie. So you have 2 rookies that your team's depending on offensively, and only one's ready to play, and he is my daughter's size. Shedeur should have thrown some damn balls, Josh. That's all I'm saying. He should have worked with Njoku and damn Jerry Jeudy a little bit throughout that week.
Well, what's stopping them from doing things post-practice on their own? I understand that's not the same as live reps in practice, and I would also say that a key difference here is the fact that Gabriel's a rookie, and if they're trying to develop him and make him their starter, every single rep for him is of the utmost importance because they invested the 3rd-round pick in him. If Flacco's there as the starter and then Shedeur is bumped up to the backup, then I understand, because what the hell does Joe Flacco need midweek practice reps for to get ready? He's seen everything. He's done everything. So that's the only distinction I would make there. I want to get Gelb's thoughts on it too. I'm sure he has plenty, but let's get going here on headlines just so we can have enough time with him.
And quickly, Shedeur's going to figure out. Shedeur's better figure out that running backwards that he did in college crap doesn't work in the league.
Does not work. Does not.
Them boys are fast.
You know what does work though? 20 tackles in an NFL game, because that's what Jordan Brooks did on Sunday in Madrid, and it earned him AFC Defensive Player of the Week for the 2nd time this season. That dude is an animal.
Yes.
We keep saying on the show he's the only serious player in that Dolphins locker room, which isn't true, but it's not fair because I think Devon Achane shouldn't be lumped in the group with the Alec Ingolds of the world. But Jordan Brooks is he's legit, man. He's fun.
Yeah. Hope he goes to the Pro Bowl. Hope the record doesn't mess him up.
Oh, he's
I would imagine,
for sure going to the Pro Bowl.
He's a lock. He's going to lead the league in tackles and be at least top 3 at worst. He's for sure going.
Yeah, him and Riley Patterson.
Yeah, Riley.
Oh, you're joking. You're joking, right? Riley Patterson's going to the Pro Bowl.
Mike McDaniel clearly didn't trust him enough to kick that field goal at the end. That's why he went for it from the 1 yard line.
Are you talking about the Madrid hero?
How?
You're talking about the Madrid hero, right?
Don't you just said Jordan Brooks, Devon Achane, and Riley Patterson in the same sentence.
Those are the
you
big
were
3.
drinking. You were drinking on the way back from Tampa.
The big 3 for the Miami Dolphins as we speak today: Jordan Brooks, Devon Achane, Riley Patterson. Are you talking about Riley Patterson, the guy who literally has more made field goals than the entire Real Madrid team in the history of that organization in La Liga? You're talking about Riley Patterson, who has more made field goals than Cristiano Ronaldo? Okay. Show some respect.
Riley Patterson, everybody closes their eyes on field goal. That's what they do. Please, Lord. Please, Lord. Please, Lord.
The Panthers, they're in action again tomorrow against the Jack Hughes-less Devils. Paul Maurice announced today that Eetu Luostarinen will be out for a couple of weeks after suffering burns from a barbecue incident. To me, that means his coals might have been a little bit too hot, Crowder.
Hey, I like that.
You see this, Crowder? I mean, Eetu Luostarinen out because, I mean, literally his coals were too hot or one landed on him or something. A barbecue incident.
I'd love to know what actually happened.
We got to know.
Yeah, that's not a fake story. That's real news.
Oh, I thought y'all were playing around. I thought he sprained his ankle. He got hurt barbecuing?
Barbecue incident. Burns.
Oh, he got to leave that to the pros.
And it's ironic.
Does he have real money? Because he can hire me to come over.
He's got some money.
He got money. I'll go over to the Luostarinen establishment. Hey, Mr. Luostarinen.
It's ironic because there have been a lot of like freak injuries in the NHL recently. Just mentioned about Jack Hughes. He was at a dinner with the team and sliced his finger in some freak accident, and now he's out for like 2 months. So weird things going on in the NHL right now. Cole Schwint, by the way, also broke his arm. He needs surgery after collision with Bob.
The Panthers. I want to talk about it more with you later.
7 guys out
because
with
there's
injury.
new uniforms today. Appel and I were kind of debating over text about the new uniforms for the Winter Classic. I'm not a big fan of them. Appel is. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But the Panthers they're dropping like flies right now on top of the guys that started the season already off the ice.
Yeah, 7 guys out right now. That's tied for the most in the league.
Crazy.
Let me be realistic with y'all about this barbecue and this knife incident. They were drunk.
Oh,
Everybody knows that.
Oh,
You're
for sure.
playing
I
with your
agree.
buddies at dinner. You're drunk. You're drinking, making a barbecue. Drop a coal.
He was
You're
doing-
drinking.
This guy, the knife guy, was doing the game where you got to put the knife in between your fingers.
Come on, man.
Especially hockey players, right? Like
Yeah.
basketball players are all kind of lame. They all just smoke weed, play 2K, and sit at home. I could see where if there's a at-home injury, they're being genuine about it. But hockey players, these guys are all like fighting bears, throwing down brewskis all day. Like
Fighting bears.
these guys are just different, man. They're all
I
different.
missed a practice with the Dolphins because I was drunk bowling and my finger got stuck in a 6-pound ball and ripped the tip of my finger off. Come
Ooh.
on now. I was drunk.
Of course.
That's nightmare fuel right there.
But that was like
That
a
was nasty.
typical Wednesday for Crowder. All right.
The Heat play the Warriors tonight. Tip at 7:30. Bam could be back. We'll find out shortly. The Warriors have a laundry list of injuries tonight as well.
Yeah, so we have found out, just to wrap up headlines here, we have found out that Steph Curry is out. So that's the second straight year Steph Curry will not play in Miami, which is a bummer for people who want to come see Steph, but it's also good news. We want to have all these little kids run around in Steph Curry jerseys tonight. Hey, if you're a Miami parent and you're buying your kid Steph Curry jersey and bringing them to the arena in a Steph Curry jersey, you should be ashamed of yourself. Buy him a Jaime Jaquez Jr., buy him a Tyler Hero, buy him a Bam Adebayo, buy him a Dwayne Wade.
Buy him a Norman Powell.
Stop buying your son or daughter Steph Curry jerseys if you live in Miami. I don't care if they like Steph Curry. I don't care if he's adorable. I don't care if he's relatable. I don't care if he might be the best player of this era. And I don't care if your son/daughter loves him. Buy him a Jaime Jaquez Jr., buy him a Norman Powell, buy him a Vlad Golden for all I care. Enough. Every time the Warriors play here, there's a million little kids running around. All of them go to Pinecrest Elementary, and they're all wearing Steph Curry jerseys.
And they all want to shoot from the logo. He's ruining basketball.
Enough.
Hey, first, there's no Vlad Goldens that are made. I'll give you that up front. Just let you know. And Solana, I'm the old guy that's going to tell you you're turning old. Kids don't cheer for teams. They cheer for guys nowadays. They're not team kids.
I'm sick of it. I had Knicks fans yelling "Bing Bong" in the arena on Monday. Enough with that. It's the second time in a month I got to hear "Bing Bong." Luckily, the Heat won that game tonight. You're going to have a million little kids running around with Under Armour shoes and Steph Curry jerseys. I mean, you're buying kids Under Armour? What are you doing? What are you doing, parents in South Florida? Your kids are wearing Under Armour? Steph Curry couldn't wait to get out of that contract with Under Armour. He's a free agent. You know what he's wearing? Nikes. That's what he's doing. He's wearing Nikes because nobody should be hooping in Under Armour. Get out of here with these stupid Steph Curry jerseys. By the way, I love Steph Curry. But you're raising your kids to be fair weather fans? You're not raising your kids to be Heat lifers? Shame on you, South Florida parents. Shame on you.
What if they weren't alive during the Big Three and all they saw was Jimmy Butler's team?
You know what you do? You pull up youtube.com and you show them highlights of Dwayne Wade. You show them highlights of LeBron James. You show them highlights of Chris Bosh. That's what you do.
Seriously. So little
Teach them
Chaz,
history.
my 5-year-old, he doesn't know what's going on yet, but 2 or 3 years down the road, all he's going to know is Jaime Jaquez Jr. and Khalil Ware. You want me to discourage him from cheering for Anthony Edwards?
100%.
You're
100%.
crazy.
We're raising loyal kids in the Solana household. I don't know about at the Appel residence.
Well, listen,
I don't know
we're
about at
having
the
a kid.
Crowder residence.
We're having a kid in a month. You best believe the first thing that's getting thrown on YouTube on the television we get home is just highlights from the Big Three era. So he knows. He'll know.
Send him to Uncle Chan's house.
Somebody says, "You're such a loser, dude." That's Tobin's bit. Hey, Jordo, what are you talking about? I've been talking about this for 10 years. This is like the thing that drives me more upset than anything. And by the way, Brennan Tobin, who I love, is not the first person in the world to complain about little kids wearing Steph Curry jerseys. Shut up. You want to call me a loser? Then get out of here. Shut up.
Not going to work.
Jordo.
Combo, bit.
Dummy.
I would love to show Jordo when they re-signed Drew Smith, the text thread of how happy you got. It's ridiculous, Jordo, of how happy he gets for these Heat players.
We gotta go to break.
Your weather sponsored by ChillZone AC, featuring reliable root AC systems. Make your AC great again. Visit chillzoneac.com. Mostly sunny, high of 84, low of 67. That's your weather.
We're incredibly late, so we have to take a break. Zach Gelb is going to join us on the other side. I'm going to ask him if he's back on the Mike McDaniel bandwagon. Some might call it the McBandwagon. That's next on Hawk, Crowder, and Solana.
You better not go another day living with chronic pain. I have told y'all a number of times, and I'm telling you, South Florida's QC Kinetics doctors are standing by to show you how your own body can treat the pain, the arthritis, the tendon pain, the joint pain, treat all that pain without the need of drugs or surgery. It is called regenerative medicine, and QC Kinetics is at the forefront of this nationwide innovative chronic pain relieving treatment system. You don't have to take drugs because they'll write you a script. Trust me, I've had all these surgeries, 12 knee surgeries, double feet surgery. I have screws in both my feet. I've had hernia surgery. I'm telling you, they'll give you drugs. And surgeons, I know them too, they go to school to do surgeries. They want to do surgery. Look into regenerative medicine. There's another option. And I have been helped when I broke my heels recently. They wanted to put me in a wheelchair. QC Kinetics, 2 treatments. They gave me PRP shots. They gave me a healing laser. I went twice and I was back to myself again. And now it's time for you to find out how you can help yourself with the help of QC Kinetics. Of course, make a call today and make that appointment. Don't replace it. Regenerate it. Call QC Kinetics, 844-77-REGEN. That's 844-777-3436. Tell them I sent you down there, and the consultation's absolutely free, and you will get $500 off your first treatment. Don't replace it. Regenerate it. And there's a new office on Southeast 17th Street in Fort Lauderdale. QC Kinetics is expanding because it works, and it's helping out so many people. Thousands of people have been helped. Don't replace it. Regenerate it. 844-77-REGEN. That's the number, 844-777-3436.
This is Hawk, Crowder, and Solana.
Jimmy, you know how to make a hot tea?
No, I do not.
You know the ingredients of tea?
Water.
We're going to talk with our friend Zach Gelb, the national radio host. I'm going to find out if he's back on the Mike McDaniel bandwagon. I hope he is. Zach Gelb, again, you can listen to him nationally. And apparently, according to my sources, Zach Gelb and my sources, Josh Bell, Zach Gelb is enemy number one of Urban Meyer, apparently, Gelby. You've been having some issues with Urban. He joins us on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location, Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, toyotaofhollywood.com. What's up, Gelby?
What's happening? Solana in the power chair today. Oh, my God. Channing, your feet must really actually be broken if you can't walk your ass into that studio and sit in the main chair.
Hey, well, Gelb, I'll be on First Take in the morning. So, I just have some things to do.
Yeah, well,
Are you actually going to be on First Take?
Yes, I'm going on. Ryan has the in and Stephen A. Smith loves me. So, yeah, we're going to be on First Take in the morning.
So you're coming to New York City is what you're telling me.
No, we're in Daytona Beach. They're bringing me on for the HBCU days.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I was going to say, because First Take's new studios are literally right across from my office. So if Crowder was coming to New York City and big time me again when he's right across the street, it wouldn't just be your feet that are broken. Your legs would be broken too, because I get my people to smack you around.
I might come on Sunday. I'll let you know.
I'm going to Mexico, so.
Big
time to me from Mexico.
Vacaciones.
Why won't you like Urban? I love Urban Meyer.
I don't dislike Urban. I actually think he should get the Penn State job, but Urban was not happy that I reported that he was interested in the Penn State job, and he had conversations with the powers that be at Penn State. And this is now 2 weeks ago, this story. So Solana always right on top of it, of course. But then when talking to Penn State and having those conversations, answers weren't viewed sufficient or satisfactory enough when it came to NIL. And they said, you know what, we're going to move in a different direction. So I guess Urban didn't want that story to get out. But I had two people tell it to me that I really trust and then was able to confirm it another way. And since then, everyone's running to talk to me. So Urban responded to it on his podcast and said something that I never said in my report, and then had a little back and forth. And I responded, well, if you don't think it's true, why don't we go to your Urban Meyer's Pint House and we will have a charity event and we could put you on a lie detector test. And you could say to me, you weren't interested in the Penn State job. It's funny. Urban responded to me when I had the report, but that part, if it's so false, he wasn't willing to respond any further. So that's where we're at. I got no bad blood with Urban, though. It's just, I'm right, he's wrong.
Once you get hooked up to a lie detector test, then anybody can ask you anything. That's dangerous territory, man. That's
but the only question would be just, were you interested in the Penn State job? And I know that if he said he wasn't, the little fat guy that usually does the lie detector tests will go, that's a lie.
And Gelb, unnecessary shot by you. You were off last week, so we couldn't discuss it. Now, because of that unnecessary shot, I hope you get food poisoning in Mexico. Gelb, are you back on?
Why food poisoning? Why food poisoning? That's not nice.
Are you believing in Mike McDaniel once again? Look, obviously you have to put it in the context. The Dolphins are still well below 500. They're not going to win the division, and they're still a massive long shot to actually make the playoffs.
In the hunt, though.
But correct, they're in the hunt.
Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Well, they have a bye week, then they have the Saints, and they have the Jets. They could be 6-7.
You guys could win 7 or 8 games.
Yeah, it's possible. What needs to happen to where you would say, and is it possible to where you would say, keeping Mike McDaniel next season isn't ridiculous?
I think it's ridiculous. If you tell me that they somehow find a way to get a finish above 500, sure, maybe it's not ridiculous. This will be a 7 or 8 win team. The schedule gets soft. But even when this guy wins, this guy acts like a clown. I know Dolphins fans love it, but a head coach, when your record's that bad, doesn't do the elbow room crap. And then after the game the other day with Ollie Gordon being in the media, too chummy for me for a guy that has 4 wins on the season, and they're finally on a win streak. Congratulations, you smothered the Bills. Good for you. And then I don't know what he was doing on 4th and 1 late in that game, but since the Commanders are the Commanders, he ended up winning the game in overtime. but let's calm down a little bit, walking around like you're swinging your Johnson around as if you're a 9-win football team at this point, like you're Mike Vrabel. You're not. You are Mike McDaniel, the head football coach of a 4-win football team. So settle down a little bit.
And what's your take on that going for it on fourth down? Because I think it was dumb, but the other side of that is that he's telling his team that he believes in the offense. He's going for the win, not for a tie. They can come down to give him, I think it was a minute 41, 44 left on the clock or something. Let's end the game now. I see the other side, but I also watch how the game went, and there wasn't a lot of points that are about to be scored in the minute 40 when for 58 minutes, y'all can only muster together 26 points.
Now, let's be real, Channing. You did not go to Florida for numbers and for math. I did not go to Temple University for numbers and math as well. Someone's telling me that decision gave them a 3% chance to go win the game more if they would have converted it right there. I don't care what the numbers say in that spot. I'm not anti-analytics. I think you should use analytics. You don't need to live and die by analytics. But if I could take a 3-point lead with 1:40 to go, where the alternative is I could either get it and you still run out the clock, or I don't get it and the other team's going to get the ball back. Yeah, I'm taking the field goal right there. I didn't understand the decision in the game, but who the heck knows? This is a new era of football where I guess you just go, even if it doesn't make any sense.
Speaking of not making any sense, Gelb, I know you have something for the College Football Playoff Committee after last night. Hunter Yurachek, the athletic director of Arkansas, twisted his brain into about 18 different pretzels about every single head-to-head and every topic and every team that they had in the top 12 last night. I know you have something with the playoff committee because every explanation was incoherent from them last night.
Yeah, and he gets thrown into that spot because of everything that happened with Mack Rhodes at Baylor. Now he was the chairman and now he's off. I think they're actually screwing over Miami because Miami, right? I think Miami fans knew when they lost that second game, they were going to be out of it. Now they're teasing the Miami fans by putting them in as the ACC representative. I know some people are saying, watch Miami. They're moving on up. They're moving on up. If Miami doesn't win the ACC, which they're probably not going to, I don't think Miami's making the college football playoff. So I think they're actually, since I'm on in South Florida right now, they are teasing the Miami fan, and I don't appreciate that.
What about the head-to-head thing? Because it makes sense to me, the simple part of if we're close and I whooped your ass one-on-one, I should be ahead of you.
It does, and I can't really disagree with that. Now, I will just say it's an unwritten rule. There's a spot practically reserved for Notre Dame. It's not, everyone's not playing on the same playing field. If Notre Dame, as long as they don't lose to NIU like they did last year, and then they had to win out, as long as you have 2 losses or fewer and your name is Notre Dame, you are getting in the college football playoff unless if all hell breaks loose. Like, hey, Alabama lost to Oklahoma this past week. I still think Alabama you could make the case is more deserving than Oklahoma with how many wins and the teams that they beat this year inside the SEC. Like Alabama, that's another thing that people are freaking out about. I know the results of the game should matter. Bama fell 6 spots, and now they're 10, and people are like, oh, is Alabama going to miss the college football playoff? As long as Alabama gets 10 wins, they're going to be in. They play Eastern Illinois and Auburn. So you better win those 2 games, and even if you get smothered in the SEC championship game, we saw last year the precedent that was set. If you lose in the championship game, in conference championship games, you don't get penalized for playing an extra game. So beat Eastern Illinois and beat Auburn, and Alabama will be in the playoff.
But I don't think it's an issue of people not thinking Notre Dame is deserving. I think Miami fans generally agree that Notre Dame should be in the playoff. Mm-hmm. It's the idea that we're now saying the losses that you have are more important than the head-to-head wins. And I just can't wrap my mind around the idea that we're valuing losses more than we are wins when the playoff committee is juicing up Tennessee and Missouri to pad these resumes. Louisville flat out has a better resume than a team like Missouri or a team like Tennessee. They just flat out do.
Miami lost to Louisville and SMU, right?
Correct,
Yeah.
yes.
The committee's telling you, and I'm not saying that this is right or wrong, but the committee's telling you, even though Notre Dame lost to Miami, they also lost to A&M by a combined 4 points between those 2 teams, that Notre Dame's losses are better. And I know what Miami fans are going to say, and I hear you, but hey, our losses then, we should get in, but they're just comparing the losses in this. And that's just the way that I think this one's going to go.
Yeah, but Miami didn't lose to BC and Stanford. Like Louisville
Sure.
and SMU are solid teams. Like Louisville was ranked a week ago. I mean,
Yeah.
I think the ACC has a really tough reputation, and there are better teams in there that they're given credit for.
Well, let's be real. The reality of the situation is the two best conferences in college football and the conferences that run college football are the Big Ten and the SEC. And last year you saw two ACC teams get in a 12-team format. This year you could see two Big 12 teams get in the college football playoff format. Potentially. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Yeah. The Big 12 and the ACC basically just flipped spots this year. So it's a game of tug of war for who's the best conference between the Big 10 and the SEC. And it's also a game of tug of war of who's the third best conference between the ACC and the Big 12. Last year, it was the ACC's year. This year, it's looking like it's the Big 12's year to win that third place trophy.
Gelb, where are you going in Mexico?
I'm going to Cancun.
Oh, wow. Look at you. How fancy.
Yeah, that's just where I'm going. A little getaway right before Thanksgiving.
I love Cancun. All inclusive, I'm sure.
Yes, my girlfriend's going away with my girlfriend's family, so I don't really know any of the details other than get to the airport at this time and then leave at this time, and away you go.
I'm gonna teach you one word you need to know at an all-inclusive in the Zona Hotelera in Cancun. Ready? Chela. That's what they call beers. Just say, hey, chela.
I thought it was cerveza.
Well, cerveza, yeah, but they call them chelas as well. Kind of like how we call them brews.
Yo necesito mucho cervezas. Todos los días.
There you go. Look at that.
Muchas gracias.
That's a weird weekend, Gilby. Your girl and her whole family?
No, it's not. That's a fun weekend. That's phenomenal. That's gonna
when
be
you
fun.
actually care about people, Channing. This is what you do.
Gilby, you get drunk. You know, you're peeing on a tree. Her uncle walks out.
No.
Things can happen.
Here's the thing. I got to be careful here. The dad likes to have fun. He likes to enjoy. We're watching the Notre Dame game this past weekend at the bar, and he's ordering CJ Carr bombs every time CJ Carr throws a touchdown. So I actually think I'm going to be the lightweight on this trip, believe it or not.
Well, Crowder, Crowder, now you finally have somebody you can hit up when you go to New York. I mean, forget Gelb.
Yeah.
Just hit up his father-in-law. Gelb, listen to him nationally, Gelb. Buen viaje and enjoy Mexico.
Comprende.
All right.
Later, guys.
Thanks,
from the Infinity Sports Radio Network. We'll take a break. More Hochman, Crowder, and Solana next.
Hey, Jack.
You're incredible, man. You are incredible.
That was very smooth. Don't want to make fun of you. That's a radio pro right there.
I get excited when I'm talking about Ed Morris. You know what I'm saying? My breath is taken away when I'm telling you what kind of deals Ed Morris is going to give you on these beautiful Cadillacs that you've always wanted, fellas. What are you talking about? Ed Morris Cadillac, they have your back right now. During the Road Ahead sales event, you know what that means? You get savings on all the beautiful Cadillacs on the lot. My man Teddy Morris down there. Chris Atkins, the amazing GM. They have beautiful vehicles, and they're going to hook you up. Right now, you can get behind the wheel of a 2024 Cadillac Lyric or XT4. You pick it. Only $319 a month. Or imagine how much money you'll be saving on select 2024 Cadillac models with just 3.9% financing, and they're going to throw in a $1,000 purchase allowance just because they love their customers. Make this year the year you get the Cadillac. You're driving to the game, going to pick the kids up, going to the grocery store. Maybe you're going on a hot date. Ride in style with a Lyric or XT4. You choose. Only $319 a month, or financing as low as 3.9% plus a $1,000 in purchase allowance. Get ready for the road ahead at Edmore Sawgrass Cadillac. And I'm telling you, my entire driveway is backed by Morris. From the trade-in to the sale to the lease, the service department. After you buy it, they check in with you, make sure your vehicle's right. I'm telling you, it's an amazing feeling to be backed by Morris.
This is Hawk, Crowder, and Solana.
Is there any possibility that Billy the Marlin is a bird? 3 o'clock hour on the Hochman, Crowder, and Solana show. Welcome back. Excited to talk with Coach Jim Larrañaga later on this hour in about 20 minutes or so. We got Josh Appel here. Channing Crowder is back with us. I'm Solana. I'm back with us today as well. Hawk is off. He'll be back Friday, but we do have word, Crowder, just so you know. I don't want to get bogged down in it, but we do have word that Hawk is officially at Epcot today, which those of you who listen to this show religiously would know that is very controversial. Hawk has been anti-Epcot. He believes he is exposing the truisms about Epcot that people don't want to admit for years on this show, which, as you guys know, I love Epcot. So it's very, very interesting, this development that Mark Hochman has stepped foot inside of Epcot. Appel was showing me a video. He looked at the Epcot ball, and he said he, in a video, is at the U2 Sphere concert in Las Vegas. So already trolling everybody. Coach Larrañaga is going to join us coming up in a few minutes, but I want to get to 15 minutes of Game Day Uncensored here. Go ahead, Crowder.
I was just by the Sphere yesterday.
Yeah? Have you been yet? Have you been to the Sphere in Las Vegas?
I have not been inside. I'm going to try to go this weekend. I'm going back. Me and my wife and I are going back because I have to do the F1 stuff this weekend. I had to go yesterday to interview people with F1. Actually, the CEO of McLaren Racing, which is
Zach Brown.
Zach Brown's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Zach Brown.
It's crazy you knew his name. That's amazing that you knew Zach Brown's name. I don't know any CEO of a racing team.
The Zach Brown band?
No, like the team principal of McLaren.
How the hell do you know that?
I watched Drive to Survive.
Yeah, but I watched Drive to Survive.
Well, I mean, it's easy to remember Zach Brown because he's the only American team principal, and the Zach Brown.
That's a good point.
And it's pretty funny. He lives in L.A. and he was and he said Drive to Survive made him famous because he was staying at a hotel one time. The Lakers were staying there. The Lakers were walking out. When he was walking out, somebody said, "Can I have your autograph?" Some of the players turned around like, "No, we're not allowed to sign." They were like, "No, not y'all, him," and pointed to Zach Brown, who's about a 5'6" little white dude. So they know he didn't play for the Lakers.
You're not buying that?
I'm not buying that the Lakers aren't allowed to sign autographs. I'm not doing the Zach Brown's lying about that. Although, I mean, come on, Drive to Survive is a little dramatized a bit. So I could see him massaging the truth there, but like, just say you don't want to sign an autograph, Lakers.
No.
Okay, don't lie and say you're not allowed.
I'm not defending him. I don't know who the hell it was. I don't even know if it was the Lakers. I don't know if Zach Brown knew what he was talking about. But I do know that they would tell us when you're walking to the buses, guys, don't stop with the autographs. We're on a time frame. So I've signed anything anybody puts in front of me. I'll sign a baby's forehead. But I had to walk past people sometimes because the team will tell you we're in a rush. Get on the damn bus.
Some housekeeping stuff here. A lot of people keep we're live on YouTube and Twitch now, so you can watch the show as well if you'd like to. You don't have to. It sounds the same, but some people prefer a visual. I mean, I'm a handsome mother bleeper. Crowder not so much, but people keep texting in over the past week. Yeah, my hairline's toast. People keep texting in. You know that something's wrong with your stream. It's in landscape mode, or excuse me, it's in vertical mode. Yeah. There are two new features on YouTube specifically. So there's actually two different streams of our show going on at the same time. One is a landscape mode, which is the normal horizontal YouTube browser that you would watch a video on. And then there's also a new one, which pops up at the exact same time, simultaneously live, which is kind of like an Instagram, TikTok version of YouTube. So it's happening at the same time. So for those of you, again, I know the radio audience and the streaming audience does not care. But for those of you who are watching, we have quite a few people live on YouTube right now. And that's bothering you, just back out and go to the other version. Just go to WQAM on YouTube and you'll find both there. So now we got that taken care of. Let's get to 15 minutes of Game Day Uncensored, brought to you by the Lexus December to Remember sales event. Get offers on select models for a limited time. Learn more at Lexus.com. I have for you here a list from CBSSports.com ranking the AFC wildcard contenders. NFL playoff picture from CBSSports.com ranking top 6 AFC wildcard contenders. And I will read them to you right now. Your division leaders, the Denver Broncos at 9-2, leading the AFC West. They have a sizable lead on Kansas City. Phenomenal.
Are we doing contender pretender again?
We're not. I learned my lesson. The New England Patriots lead the AFC East, Indianapolis Colts, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay. So, unofficially out of it, but essentially they're calling these teams out of it. The Tennessee Titans, the Cleveland Browns, the Las Vegas Raiders, the New York Jets, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Miami Dolphins.
Wrong.
Yes.
Erroneous.
At 3-7, they're saying the Miami Dolphins are out of it.
They're
Unofficially,
4-7.
mathematically not out of it, but they're out of it. 4-7, correct. And your wild card contenders, the Jaguars, the Texans, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Bills in that order. Kansas City is third in this ranking, and Baltimore is right behind them, fourth. But your top 2 wild card contenders, the Chargers and the Buffalo Bills.
Baltimore's winning the AFC North. I don't think Pittsburgh's hanging on to the top spot in that division, especially now that Aaron Rodgers is hurt. I know they're talking about him potentially playing this weekend, but he's got a fracture in his left wrist. Doesn't require surgery, but that's still not the best injury to have to deal with as a quarterback. You're going to try and play through that. It's going to be difficult. And now you've got Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. They're getting healthier. They're getting better. The Ravens are going to win the North. I just had the Chargers and Jaguars on Sunday, and let me tell you, if the Chargers cannot get their tackle situation at left and right tackle on the offensive line figured out, that team is doomed because they couldn't do a damn thing against a very mediocre Jaguar defense on Sunday. And when they go up against teams that like to run the ball a lot, they really struggle. And we know when it comes to the playoffs, teams have to run the ball. They got to play good defense. And I'm not sure the Chargers in their current state I would put in that conversation. I think they're a playoff team. Chiefs got to be careful too, Crowder. They lose this weekend to the Colts, drop to 5-6. They are on the outside looking in because they have none of the tiebreakers.
Correct. And Crowder had brought that to your attention the other day, which was it's not that we actually believe that Kansas City can't pull it together, because I still think if they're in the playoffs, I'm still picking them to win the AFC. I just am. Until they're knocked off, I'm picking them. But they literally might not make it because every team ahead of them, Jaguars, Buffalo, the Chargers, every single team, they've lost all the head-to-head battles against them.
Yeah. And I think the Ravens have picked it up. So I'm going to plug one of the Ravens in, either winning the North or just wild card. But the Ravens are going to the playoffs. And what does that give? One more spot?
Yeah.
I would guess it would be the Bills, because the Bills beat the Chiefs. But it's crazy that the Chiefs aren't even going to make the playoffs after the run they've had. But it's something you brought it up too. I heard that foolishness, Solana, the aura. They've lost their aura.
They've lost their aura. I think it was Damian Woody. I think it was Damian Woody who said that. I could be wrong, but it was somebody after a game, or they've lost their aura.
It's nothing aura. They're getting scored on, and they're not scoring as much as they usually are with all their weapons. Like, I don't know what they're talking about aura. People weren't scared of them. They were just better than other teams.
We talk all the time about how one-score games are random. This is the difference. Last year, they were on the right side of literally every single one-score game. They went undefeated in one-score games a season ago. This year, they're winless in those one-score games. The great example is this weekend against Denver. I did the game last year in Kansas City where Denver was lining up for a game-winning field goal to go to 9-0, and the Chiefs blocked the kick. This year, Denver lining up for the field goal, no block kick this time. These things just happen to even out, and the Chiefs are on the wrong side of the one-score games this year. It's crazy because on paper, they are a better team this year than they were last year, and obviously the record doesn't show that.
Yeah. And we talk about it all the time with the one-score games. It's funny you bring it up. We come back home. Carolina was a one-score game. Like, you look at the games the Dolphins have lost there, like, that's what the NFL is winning close games in the fourth quarter. You get the hell beat out of you by good teams, and for good teams, you're going to beat mediocre and bad teams, and it's usually going to be in the fourth quarter. Getting blown out or blowing a team out by 20 isn't what the NFL is about. That's college football.
I do like to do that sometimes, go back and just look at some of the Dolphins' losses and say
they're a foot out of bounds away.
But also they're a Marcus Mariota away from being 3-8.
Ah,
I'm just saying, like it has to work.
it only works
There's-
in our favor.
It has to work
There's
both
two.
ways.
There's Jalen Phillips' wrist being stronger. That might be 2 wins if he gets old boy down to the
Herbert,
ground in
Or-
San Diego.
Or if our DBs just knew how to tackle earlier
Yeah.
in the season.
Hey,
I mean,
By the way,
Oh,
I said this
yeah.
yesterday. I think we could have the Tua Herbert conversation again. Herbert opened up the door after Sunday. Whoa, whoa, whoo! He was bad.
Still take him. Still take
Oh,
him over to it.
Yeah, I'm not being fully serious, but
I think, the conversation's gonna happen forever. But yeah, man, I think we're done with that one. I'm done
Yeah.
with that one. I won't say we.
until Tua leads the Dolphins in the playoffs this year.
right. Well, I was just gonna kind of circle back here to end 15 minutes of game day uncensored. Dolphins, according to this list, unofficially out of it. Again, mathematically not eliminated, but they're not giving them a chance in hell to actually take one of those final wild card spots. Do either of you genuinely believe this can happen? We don't have to go into a long thing about it, but with the record after the bye week and with the way they've been playing, I just want to gauge everybody's guts here. Like, do you actually think this team is capable of battling for a legitimately battling, not just being in the hunt graphic? I'm talking about ending the season. What would it have to be?
Probably have to go at least
8 and 9?
Probably have to get to at least 9 wins.
9 wins?
Yeah.
So 9 and 8.
Yeah.
They have to win out?
Well, no, they have to. They would afford 1 loss
Right.
in this scenario. Let them
So-
get to 7-7 after that
That's-
Monday night game against Pittsburgh, and then we're really cooking. 7-7, we can have a conversation.
Then you play the Bucks and the Pats. You're gonna have to
Purdue?
split those last 2 teams, Bucks and
Well,
Pats.
Well, that's my question, because on Monday, Crowder, we're talking about, hey, let's enjoy the wins. And I'm firmly in that position. Let's
Yeah.
enjoy the wins. But somebody writes, it would be the most tragically funny thing if the Dolphins made the playoffs just to get blown out round 1 and keep the status quo. And it's so true.
Yeah.
Where I'm enjoying the wins, but they're going to get into a position where they're either battling for a playoff spot and they're going to get blown out by the Buccaneers. It's going to end their playoff chances, which is how this ends. Like, we know how this ends.
Yeah.
Or they just get rocked by the Jets, and all they had to do was win against the Jets, and they can't do it. Or they miraculously get into the playoffs in that first round, and I kind of botched that, and they get just rocked by New England in the first round.
They're going to lose one of these 2 against the Saints or the Jets. They're going to have a dumb one here. And then what they're going to do is they're going to lose one of these 2 games, and then they'll beat Tampa Bay at the end of the season, and they'll have another meaningless win against New England after they blew their chance against the 2 bad teams coming up on the
Yeah.
schedule.
All right, let's do headlines, because Coach L is going to join us in the next segment. Appel is in for Hawk today, and Appel's going to handle headlines for us. They're brought to you by Doral Hyundai, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit us at Doral Hyundai or DoralHyundai.com.
All right, quickly here. Jordan Brooks, Defensive Player of the Week in the AFC, second time this season at 20 tackles against the Commanders in Madrid. The Panthers, they're back in action tomorrow night against the Jack Hughes-less Devils. Paul Maurice announced today Ed Toulouse-Durainen out for a couple of weeks after suffering burns from a barbecue incident. We said earlier his coals might have been too hot. The Panthers are up to 7 regulars out of the lineup because of injury. 6 of them are forwards. Panthers a bit banged up. The league also revealed, we'll get to this later in the show, both the Rangers and the Panthers with our classic uniforms. I like them. Solana, not so much. Heat and the Warriors tonight. They tip at 7:30. Bam could be back. We'll find out here shortly, or they might have already announced the injury report. And then bad news for Solana. Team USA in soccer last night. Beat down on Uruguay. 5-1 in Tampa. First time the U.S. men's national team has scored 5 goals in a game versus a CONMEBOL nation, a World Cup winning nation, and a FIFA top 30 team. Basically did it with the Seattle Sounders roster. Not even the top guys, the A team for Team USA.
Yeah, no, I'm down bad. Like, no joke.
Yeah.
That was one of the most painful losses of my lifetime.
Yeah, we'll talk about it with Whitty in the 4 o'clock hour.
Right.
Go ahead, Crowder.
Of your
he's got-
lifetime.
No joke. That was one of the most painful losses.
It was a friendly,
of my
by the
lifetime.
way. It's almost like the Dolphins losing a preseason game in heartbreaking fashion, and Solana being upset about that. Essentially,
Yes,
this
they're
game
playing-
means
they're playing for fun. This is a
No.
couple boys getting together. They drink beers afterwards.
You don't get it, man. You don't give up 5 goals to a CONCACAF nation. You just don't. Like, had Spain done that to Uruguay, it would have been hard to swallow. But hey, that's Spain. That's Italy. You give up 5 goals to a CONCACAF nation. And by the way, I'm not even taking cheap shots at the U.S. They dominated last night. I was very surprised at how well they played without some of their top players, and that was mostly Uruguay's top team.
I got to talk to Whitty about this because maybe Uruguay is just booty.
Maybe I can't argue it. I can't argue it. I think there's actually some behind the scenes stuff going on with the manager. Nobody likes the manager there. He's Argentinian, and some people in Uruguay are speculating. Again, speculating. It doesn't mean it's for sure, but speculating that they're tanking on purpose. Like, they're not playing hard for this guy. They don't want him to be the manager for the World Cup 6 months from now or 7 months from now. But again, that's tough to believe. Even then, you don't give up 5 goals. You just don't. But whatever. We'll talk about it later. I don't want to waste any more of Coach L's time. Just one thing on the Heat before you get to weather. Pell, Steph Curry is out tonight for sure. Jimmy Butler's questionable with lower back strain. The key here is that they all played yesterday against Orlando. Jimmy had 33. Steph had 30-plus points as well. Nobody else scored for them, but Steph played 34 minutes. Jimmy played 38 minutes. Draymond's also questionable for this game. Buddy Hield is questionable. Like, this team, no Kuminga's been out. This team, my guess is Jimmy Butler won't play tonight. That's my guess.
Ducking the Heat.
But second night of a back-to-back, they played heavy minutes yesterday, and they still lost by 8 to a tough Orlando Magic team. My guess is they're not going to play tonight. But Steph Curry for sure is out. Bam is questionable, but they're certainly optimistic that he'll make his return after 6 straight out.
Well, hopefully they were able to enjoy the weather, which is sponsored by Chill Zone AC, featuring reliable root AC systems. Make your AC great again. Visit chillzoneac.com. Beautiful day in South Florida. Temperatures high of 82, low of 67. Should get into the low 70s tonight. And if you wake up at 6 a.m., temperatures below 70 degrees. How about that?
How about that? We're going to talk with legendary Canes basketball coach Jim Larrañaga. Joins us every single Wednesday. Happens to be my favorite conversation of the week. Every single week, we're going to talk some hoops with Coach L after this break.
If your team is winning, losing, if they're in the playoffs, not in the playoffs, just go to Tootsie's. You'll feel great. If you don't like basketball, football, baseball, hockey, soccer, you can watch them there or not, because there's beautiful entertainers on all the stages at Tootsie's. It is the world's largest strip club. They're open from noon to 6 a.m. That's 18 hours of wonderful entertainment and great food. It's not a guy back there with a little frying pan. It is a full kitchen. They have food specials daily, $100 bottles, half-price drinks every single day till 8 p.m., 18 hours of entertainment. I had to say it again. That's an amazing thing. 2 levels of entertainment. They have a cold restaurant. They have a sports bar in the back with pool tables. You can't beat Tootsie's Cabaret. Head down there. Dozens of TVs everywhere and no cover on game days if you bring your ticket. Canes and Fins. Bring your game day ticket because Hard Rock's right around the corner. Tailgate there. Go there before. Don't worry about the weather, the rain, the cold, the heat, whatever it is. Go to Tootsie's before the game. Go after the game. Don't want to sit in the traffic. You have a couple hours. Sit there and then drive home happy. Had a good time at Tootsie's Cabaret. I'm telling you, go over there and have a good time on Sundays now. Sundays is amazing. From noon to 5 p.m. every single Sunday. It is a tailgate takeover. They have a $10 tailgate takeover menu, chicken wings, smash burger fries, fried shrimp fries, cheese pizza, and chicken nachos. Just $10 during 12 to 5 p.m. on Sundays. You can't beat Tootsie's Cabaret. I've been going there since 05. Got my same table every time I go. If you're a Tootsie's person, go over there. You've seen me probably. If you haven't been, go over there now and check out what you've been missing at Tootsie's Cabaret. Go to tootsiescabaret.com for more information.
This is Hawk, Crowder, and Solana.
I gave up squirrel meat.
Oh, good for you. That'll be tough to keep.
we're going to talk with Coach Jim Larrañaga. Ready to talk some hoops with Coach L. My favorite segment of the week. Crowder's here. Josh Appel is here. I'm Solana. Jimmy is behind the glass. Hawk is at Epcot. What a weird turn of events for this show. Coach Jim Larrañaga. He joins us on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Coach L, again, every single week. You know him as the legendary men's basketball coach collegiately at the University of Miami. Coach L, unfortunately, the Miami Hurricanes suffered a pretty bad defeat at the hands of Crowder's Florida Gators the other day. Neutral site game. That couldn't have felt very good for you and the rest of Canes Nation.
Well, quite frankly, this early in the season, we just, getting started. It's a new team. We have 13 new players. So here's the way I look at it. We're learning. We're improving. We're working at how to play our best basketball together. So when you play against the top 10 team like the University of Florida, who won the national championship last year with all those veterans returning, and those big guys are dynamic. They are all really, really good. And Ty Golden, I mean, he's got his team ready to play like it's March. Jay Lucas and his staff are just getting started. They have a few games under their belt. They learned a lot from the game, I'm sure, and we're going to see some improvement as we move forward.
And Coach,
So don't be hating on my Hurricanes this early in the year, man.
Let him know, Coach L. Enough with the hate, Crowder.
You cut my leg because I was about to take a real subtle shot at you, but but Coach, to your point though, yes, we won the national championship last year. We're rolling, and you watched them; they were just bigger. You watched pregame; they were just a bigger team, on the court. But how long does that take? Because nowadays with NIL, you're really resetting every year. You talked about it last year with just the reset of rosters. So how long, with all your coach experience, how long until a team that's brand new with a brand new coach? How long until you will see what they can really do?
Well, you don't know that. Here's the key. You could start out absolutely great and be rolling right from the beginning because your team just absolutely clicks. But there's another side of it that, hey, it's going to take me a while. I'm not really sure. My biggest takeaway from that game was two things. And there's only two things you have to be able to do. One, you got to be able to put the ball in the basket. And number two, you got to stop the other team from putting it in the basket. So my concern was we just didn't put the ball in the basket at an efficient enough rate, both from three and from the foul line. So can we improve in those areas? Can we get to the point where we're shooting a high percentage from three and from the free throw line? Because if we can, if that's the part of our game we work on, we improve, then maybe by January, we're rolling. Now, if it's a part of the game that we just struggle with, we just don't have enough really good shooters, then that's going to become a weakness that shows up regularly.
Well, the Hurricanes are going to play again tomorrow against Elon. I'm locked in, Coach, because I'm a big Dante Allen fan. He's one of the new freshmen that Coach Lucas has. I've been following him since he was at Riviera Prep down in Kendall, my neck of the woods. I know the whole coaching staff there, and they rave about this kid. So I'm locked in. But I wanted to transition quickly with you, Coach, to the NBA, because tonight the Heat, they're going to play the Warriors. Now, the Warriors are on the second night of a back-to-back. We know how good that team is, but Steph Curry's not going to play. Jimmy Butler likely isn't going to play either. They're missing a ton of their regular starters, their superstars. Last week, Miami, we talked with you after that exciting finish against Cleveland. Cleveland, that Wednesday night when you came on, benched Donovan Mitchell. There was no Darius Garland. There was no Evan Mobley. And they ran the Heat out of the building in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
How difficult is it as a head coach? I don't think it's a lack of confidence or concentration by the team, but I do think it's just preparing for a different style when another team is shorthanded and undermanned. How difficult is that when you have to play like the Heat tonight against a team that isn't going to have Steph Curry, their superstar, in the lineup?
Okay, are we going to have Bam? What do you hear?
I think Bam Adebayo is going to play. They're kind of talking yesterday at practice like again, it's not
Yeah,
a sure
game
thing,
time decision.
right?
Work
but
your
he-
sources, Solana.
He's well. My sources are saying he's playing, but
Ah.
I don't want to make any
Breaking
reports here
news?
on the air.
Jimmy?
But either way,
And-
coach, they should be able to handle a Golden State Warriors team with or without Bam that doesn't have Steph Curry, doesn't have Draymond, that might not have Jimmy Butler, no Jonathan Kuminga either.
Yeah, here's the way I look at it. The Cavaliers series and the Knicks series, we split with them. We won 2 of those games. We lost 2 of those games. So we need to just get focused on getting ready for the Golden State Warriors. It doesn't matter who they have playing. Everybody plays differently every single night. Some nights you make a lot of shots. Sometimes you miss a lot of shots. And the better players are the more consistent players. So what I'm looking for is trying to get the consistency. If we can play consistently well, our new style of play, racing up and down the floor, getting into the open court, I think we take care of business tonight.
But coach, now when you had Lonnie Walker and you had Shane Larkin, you're not just going to play the Hurricanes. You got to stop Lonnie Walker as well. So not having Steph out of the line, not having Steph in the lineup has to change your approach somewhat, because now you don't have a guy that can shoot from the logo.
Well, that's for sure true. Your defensive strategy can change dramatically based on the personnel. Your defensive strategy almost always begins with the best players. How do we slow down a Steph Curry or a Jimmy Butler? And the idea is, okay, they're not going to play tonight. Let's say neither one of them play tonight. All right. So who becomes the go-to guy? Who do we adjust our defense to focus on? Because every coach has a scouting report on every NBA player, and Spo and his staff will be looking for a great defensive strategy to slow down the Golden State Warriors.
Hey, coach, and it's funny you said Spo, and made me think about something we talked about. What game was that, Solana, with the inbound pass? Was that the second night of the back-to-back or the first night?
Are you talking
When
about
the Chris-
game
the Chris-
inbound pass?
The Chris Quinn play, yeah.
Yeah, that was the first game last Monday.
Hey, coach, did you hear Spo's explanation? They had the inbound with 0.6 seconds to win the game. He said that Coach Chris Quinn drew that play up 4 years ago, and he still had it on the play sheet. And he said, this is he said on the play sheet, it said CW for Chris Quinn's inbound play. What's the longest you've had a play on your play sheet?
Oh, I never took a play off. We just kept adding it. And then in the summertime, I'd review our play calls, and some would go on the A list, some would go on the B list, some would go on the C list, and we never got to a D or an F list. But you'd have certain plays that are your favorites that you keep every year, year after year. And a lot of NBA teams, they run the same offense every year. They have the same plays, and then you add options to them. So you might have a play that option A is we're looking for the lob, and option B is we're looking for the jumper. And then you might switch that based on your personnel and who has the hot hand.
And Coach, one more question with that. This is intriguing to me as an X and O guy. Like football-wise, you'll have 4th and 1s, you'll have 3rd and longs, you'll have 3rd and 3 to 7. How is the play sheet broke down? Is it under 1 second, 2 to 4 seconds? Like, how do you break down a play call?
Yeah, in basketball, you've got to have a number of plays that I'll use the example. Let's use 10 seconds. So 10 seconds or under, but not under 5. So between 10 seconds and 5 seconds, we have a series of plays. All right. Once it gets under 5, okay, we got another series of plays that are more quick hitters. 1 pass, 2 pass, but no more than that. And then you have plays under 3 seconds or even under 1 second that are 1 pass and shoot it, or 1 pass and dunk it. And you have a certain number of lob plays that you have to have in your arsenal. And you have to have them from both underneath the basket and on the sideline in college. You don't see underneath the basket in the NBA, but all those plays you see in the NBA are sideline out of bounds.
Coach, good to talk to you again. I hopefully you did
Hi,
well
Josh.
on Wordle today. I got a 3 today on Wordle. I don't know how you did, but I don't know if you did better than a 3. But
What are you like Hawk? You cheat on that game or what?
who cheats?
They cheat for
Who
sure, Coach.
cheats?
They cheat for sure, and I'm pretty sure there's a whole conspiracy to cheat just to piss you off. I think that's what's happening behind the scenes.
Hey, Solana. Hey, Josh, listen to this. Hawk had been sending me his Wordle, and he was getting like 2s all the time. So I had my wife do hers first, then I copied it so I knew the answer. I drove Hawk nuts that I beat him.
I hope you didn't tell him that. I hope that's the first you're publicly admitting that.
No, Hawk doesn't know. And he's not listening. He's at
Oh, he's
Epcot.
at Epcot right now.
He's at Epcot having fun.
Hey, Coach L, I
Yeah.
am 100% committed to you beating Hawk, even if it means we cheat together. I will jump in on this to piss him off on a daily basis. So you let me know. I know you're a man of integrity. I'm not. I am a sleazebag. So you let me know, Coach L. I am happy to find a way to cheat in Wordle so that you can just for you to piss off Hawk. You let me know, okay?
All right.
Coach, I wanted to ask you real quick because the Heat have struggled rebounding the basketball on both ends this year. And I know Bam Adebayo has missed a lot of time, and he's probably their best rebounder. But is that a byproduct of their style of play this year, or is that something that you see that can be fixed?
Oh, hey, that's. Do you guys know the name or remember the name Pete Carrill?
Hmm.
No, huh? Okay, so Pete Carrill is a legendary coach at Princeton University, and he ran the Princeton offense, which everybody runs now.
Yeah.
You know, the 5 out that the Heat run. It all comes from Pete Carrill's offensive schemes back in the 60s and 70s and 80s. And in his book, he wrote a book, and in it he said, to be a great rebounder, you need the knack. Great rebounders have the knack of going where the ball is, where it's going. Rebounders, you don't develop rebounders. They're born that way. We had Norshad Omier, one of the best rebounders I ever coached. We didn't have to teach him anything. He just went after every rebound. You know, in my generation, you had guys like Wes Unseld, who were tremendous rebounders. So when a team like the Heat is not having a great start to their rebounding numbers, you can focus on it. You can talk about it. You can watch video on it. But it's really up to the players to make it a priority that as soon as a shot goes up, you have to think in this order. I have to anticipate the shot. I have to assume that it's going to miss, and I have to go after it. Because if you don't do those things, if you don't assume it's going to miss, if you become a spectator, if you don't anticipate the shot, you're going to be a step late, and then you must go after it. The ball's not coming to you. You got to go get it. And that's what the great rebounders do. And, you know, a guy like Dennis Rodman made a living just going after every rebound because he wasn't concerned about shooting the ball or scoring the ball. He just, his goal was to get the next missed shot, rebound it, and get it for his team.
Dennis Rodman explaining how he rebounded in The Last Dance is one of the all-time clips and one of the best clips of that entire show.
Coach, before we let you go, I would imagine, you know, we're 3-4 weeks into the season now. You're not surprised watching Norman Powell play at an all-star level, correct? I mean, we've talked about him before, but you keeping a close eye on the Clippers over the past couple seasons,
Right.
What he's doing is outstanding.
Yeah, no, Norman is a perfect fit for needing a scorer in the backcourt. You know, and when Tyler Hero comes back, I think those two will be a dynamic scoring duo because Norman can shoot the ball and he can score the ball. He's an efficient player, and he's having what Pat Riley uses the expression a career year. This may be the best year of his career, and if he can stay healthy, stay confident, and keep shooting the ball well, he's a major asset for the Miami Heat this season.
Coach Jim Larinaga, he's a legendary men's head basketball coach here at the U, proudly repping the U once again. And Coach L, we greatly appreciate your time every single week. I mean it when I say I love talking basketball with you. And I love when you text me about basketball. He texted me an Instagram post about Nikola Jokic's stats. And Coach,
Are they ridiculous or what?
I said it last week that I think at the end of his career, he'll be in the conversation with the LeBrons and the Jordans. I truthfully believe that. I'm not saying he'll be ahead of them, but he'll be in that conversation.
Yeah, it's really hard for the NBA, to promote a player who's not American. I mean, LeBron and Michael Jordan are born and raised in this country. They were born to play basketball. Their athletic ability, they're entertainers, not just basketball players, but people tune in because they're so much fun to watch. Nikola Jokic is too, but coming from Serbia, he's not the name on everybody's list of the greatest players of all time, even though he's certainly in that conversation.
He should be, and he probably will be. Coach L, we really do appreciate you, and enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, thanks, guys.
All right, there you go.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach Jim Larinaga. We're going to take a break.
I got a question. Why when Coach L tells you the exact same thing we tell you about Jokic, you say, okay, yes, sir, oh, sounds good, but then you argue with us all day?
Hold on a second. What are you talking about?
You said he's going to be spoke about with Jordan and LeBron. You say you've been saying this for a while, and we say, no, he's foreign and his game is boring. What are you talking about? He's a triple-double machine.
Right,
Blah, blah, blah.
But the difference is
Coach explains it to you exactly the way we do, and you, sir, you're right.
Coach L just said he probably should be in that conversation, but he's just not because the NBA has a hard time properly branding him. And you say
not branding him. He is foreign and his game is boring.
You just do what all the old heads do. No, Jordan, six finals appearances, 0 losses. Zero losses.
I said nothing about superlatives. I said Jokic's game is boring and he's foreign and he won't get the attention. And it's not as fun to watch him lumber around and get a triple-double as it was to watch Jordan fly from the foul line.
Crowder, I have a question for you. What letter does the last name Quinn start with?
What letter Quinn? Q.
Yeah, because you said it was CW on the play sheet when you told the story to Coach L just now. I let it slide at the time.
I was gonna let him win. That was a winning play.
Oh yeah.
It was a wombo. It was a wombo.
Okay.
Thanks to Coach L. More Hawk, Crowder, and Solana, as we like to call it, HWS, coming up on the other side.
Boy, I don't fool with you no more, Solana. Y'all need to get to Delaware. If you want to win in your belly, go to Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. They have delicious food. I've been going there since 2005, over 20 years, and I'm telling you, go to Delaware. Been in the Hollywood, Florida area since 1951. They have all the hookups. They know what they're doing. Jose, the owner, is amazing. Linda's over there running it. She's off the chain. She's going to watch out for you. The staff, there's people that work at Delaware since I got here in 2005. Get to Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market for your lamb, beef, veal, pork, poultry, duck, turkey, lobster, shrimp, and a turkey. Oh, my goodness. Fresh, never frozen turkeys for Thanksgiving coming up. Go over there. Order it now. Call and order your turkey now. They'll have it ready for you when you get there. A bunch of people get it, so they have a conveyor belt of people bringing them out to you. I'm telling you, get your turkey from Delaware, and you're going to love it. Fresh, never frozen turkeys, but everything. Crabs, clams, oysters, scallops. They have so much delicious food. Burgers and sandwiches. Fried chicken, roasted chicken. If you don't feel like cooking, the dips are delicious. You got to try the smoked fish dip. It's smoked tuna dip. Best smoked fish dip you ever have in your life. Sides are made at house daily and fresh. Go to DelawareChicken.com. That's the website, DelawareChicken.com. See the entire menu. When you know what you want, call them in advance. 954-983-6831. That's 954-983-6831. Place your order. It'll be packaged and ready when you get there. Curbside delivery is available. They'll bring it out to your car because all they want to do is get delicious food back to your tailgate, watch party, family dinner, romantic dinner. Yacht provisions they have. Beautiful yacht on a beautiful day. with the best food you can get in South Florida? Come on now, you got to go to Delaware. They are located on 441, 1 block south of Sterling Road. And when y'all get down there, grab your Crowder powder now. They have all 3 blends of my seasoning and tell them Crowder sent you.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
I love the colonoscopy.
4 o'clock hour on the Hochman, Crowder, and Solana show. Welcome back. Crowder had to duck out because he's got to take another flight. And I don't remember where he's going, but he had told, I think he told
He's going to do
Coach
First
L-
Take
Oh, that's right.
in
He
Daytona.
Told, he told Gelb he's going to go do First Take in Daytona.
You think he's going to have a moment like he had last time? Was it last time he was on First Take or the time before that where he talked about Hennessy and taking hits with Tua? Was that the clip that went viral?
I hope so.
I hope he has another one.
Yeah, I hope he does. So that's why Crowder had to duck out. So if you're up tomorrow, 10 a.m., that's 10 a.m. to 12, right? 10 a.m. to noon, First Take.
Mhm.
Channing Crowder. Look for him on First Take tomorrow. I'll certainly be locked in.
I hope they make him do that 40-yard dash thing they made Cam Newton do a couple of weeks ago. I hope Crowder gets to do that this time.
He's done a couple of those like combine things. I remember at the combine this past year, he raced somebody, and it was just it was an embarrassing performance. You know, I'm out here repping for the show, winning pickleball championships.
I know that he couldn't do the bench press one time, but that was a performance
shtick,
there.
Yeah. The problem is Fred Taylor could have repped that bitch out, and Crowder was going to get embarrassed for real. So he's
So
like,
he
let
just-
me
play
lean
it,
into
yeah.
it. Yeah. I have an exciting hour ahead for everybody. Hawk is in Epcot. Is at Epcot again. Just I never thought those words would be uttered. Crowder duck out, so we're lucky enough to have Josh Appel, who has agreed to join us tomorrow as well as Hawk takes off one more day.
Which park do you think he's doing tomorrow?
Magic Kingdom.
It's great that he's at Epcot. I can't wait. I can't wait because what's going to happen is I know deep down
He likes it.
he likes it because Epcot genuinely is fun. Genuinely,
Hawk,
it's great.
Hawk loves a walk. He loves a
he
walk.
walks every day with his wife. He loves the cutesy food items. He eats
Yes.
avocado toast every day. And if he's gonna have a cocktail, he doesn't like a rum and coke. He likes an Aperol spritz. He likes the spruced up cocktail, the fancy cocktail. I mean, all those things you get at Epcot, every single one.
He's 100% doing two things. Number one, he's eating at the United States. Whatever food he's going to have, he's not doing Mexico. He's not doing Italy. He's doing the United States. That's number one. Number two, when they get to Italy, he's definitely walking into the drink area and asking for an Aperol spritz.
So I can't wait Friday for him to come back and just bleep all over it. 'Cause I know that's what's happening. He's
sure.
just gonna
You already hear it.
He's gonna defecate all over Epcot, but deep down, he'll admit it to me. I think he'll admit it to me. He enjoyed it. Dolphins news and Canes news. We've got the latest on the NFL and college football. Heat, Panthers, their seasons are well underway. Canes basketball, of course, underway. You don't want to miss a thing. Download the Odyssey app on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. Make Hawk, Crowder, and Solana your favorite show. We would greatly appreciate it, whether it's on the Odyssey app, whether you listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I always remind everybody, make Hawkman, Crowder, and Solana one of your favorite shows. Download our episodes. Again, we would greatly appreciate it. That's all we ask for. We don't charge you to listen to us. Just give us a like on the Odyssey app, the iHeartRadio app, or download our pod. However you get your podcast. We're going to do headlines here. Chris Whittingham is going to join us later this hour. Woody, of course, a soccer broadcaster for Apple TV. Inter Miami has a big MLS playoff game coming up. It's the first time ever they're in the second round of the MLS playoffs in their franchise's history.
It feels like the playoffs started 7 years ago.
Right, and it's so weird. I want to ask Woody about the format where in the MLS, for those who don't know, it's the same as the NBA or the NHL. 8 teams from either conference make the playoff. There's also a wild card that plays the 8th seed, so the 8 and 9 play to get the 8th seed. So similar to the NBA, it's like a play-in tournament. And then the first round of the playoffs is a best of 3. So you play 2 games, and if the team split the game, so one win one, one win one, one wins one. Geez,
Nailed it.
and the other one
Really
wins
good.
the other.
You
What?
explained that really clearly.
You play a game 3.
So how many do they win?
You play a game 3. But then every game after that, Eastern Conference semifinal, then the actual conference final, and then the championship game are all one game. Win or go home. Just fascinating to me. Why?
I feel like it would be the reverse.
Doesn't make any sense.
I feel like you'd want the title decided by 3 games, not the initial wild card round. That's how Inter Miami got eliminated last year.
Correct. Yeah, they lost to Atlanta United. So first time in the Leo Messi era, actually, as well, that they get to the second round. So I want to talk about that with Chris Whittingham. Obviously, my favorite soccer team, the Uruguay national team, got rocked yesterday by the U.S. men's national team. Pretty much like I haven't seen that much enthusiasm after a U.S. soccer victory in a long time, maybe since the World Cup.
Hard not to feel good about it if you're a fan of the United States men's team,
Yeah.
given all the noise that's been around them going back through the summer with Christian Pulisic and the documentary that came out. He's butting heads with former players, Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey, all that stuff, all the commitments that are being questioned of the current iteration of the group. And then they go with their B team and they smother the team ranked 15th in the FIFA rankings. How was the crowd there last night?
It was good. It was good. I mean, Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay is a cool stadium. You got the pirate ship to one
it's the home
side.
of the Bulls.
It is the home of the Buccaneers.
It's the home of the Bulls.
Home of the Buccaneers. And but they close off the top deck.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd say there was probably 20,000, 25,000 people there.
A little bit less than a USF game.
It was a lot of Uruguayans. I was shocked by how many Uruguayans, but the U.S. men's national team, the Outlaws, the supporter section came well represented as well. I'm just looking here, see if there's any update on tonight's Heat game. Why don't we do headlines here with Josh Appel? Again, Hawk will be back on Friday. Appel will be with us tomorrow. Crowder should be in tomorrow as well. Headlines are brought to you by Doral Hyundai, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit us at Doral Hyundai or DoralHyundai.com.
All right, so let's talk about the Heat. They play the Warriors tonight. Tip off at 7:30. What time is preheat?
6:15 tonight.
There you go. Bam, expected to be back. Do we have official word yet?
We do not. There
Okay,
is no
so-
official word just yet. I'm just double checking the injury report here, but the latest on Bam is questionable. They said he's going to warm up with the intention to play. It's going to be a game time decision. But again, they talked about it being optimistic that he suits up tomorrow. And I feel like this is a good time for him to suit up. It felt prior to Monday's game on Sunday's practice, it felt like Bam, when we spoke to him, was saying like, yeah, I'm almost there. I'm almost back. So this always felt like the target date for him.
Right. I'm not surprised they're slow playing this. It's still what?
Well, no, I mean, they're 8-6.
Yeah, and they're 14 games into the season. They're staying above water right now
Crazy,
without him.
man.
No reason to rush him back.
If I would have told you, hey, as somebody who, follows the Heat, but maybe isn't like following them very deeply coming into the season, if I would have told you, hey, Bam Adebayo is going to miss 6 of your first 14 games, and Tyler Hero's not going to play a single one, you would have said what?
Pretty bad.
You would have said,
Pretty
yeah,
bad.
they'd be down there with
Have they won 3 games yet?
with the Wizards. Yeah.
Yeah.
3-13 or 3-12, whatever it is, would be their record.
They're fun, man. Like I'm all in on this team. I have them on upper right or upper left TV every night. I love Stormin Norman. Khalil Ware's been great. I'm all in on this team. They're fun.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, if your biggest criticism of the Miami Heat over the past couple seasons, because I know the front office, and rightfully so, like there's been misses in free agency and there's been misses in terms of trades. And should they have seen with Jimmy Butler coming back today, Appel, should they have known Jimmy Butler wasn't going to play good soldier and come in here last year after the Heat denied him a contract extension? Pat Riley calls them out publicly.
What do you think was going to happen?
Thanks to Tobin's question. Should they have known that he wasn't going to play good soldier, shut up, play his ass off on a contract year, and try to win the hearts back of the front office? Like, yes, they should have known. That should have been obvious from the beginning.
Only because he has a history of doing that every single place he's been.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But and I'm not putting all the blame on the Heat. Like, I understand why they thought, hey, he has to come and prove that he's worth that money, and he has to play games and he has to be available, because historically he hasn't, and he can't take the regular season off, which at times he does, which is why when the Warriors were sitting at 6-6 before they had 2 big time victories against the Spurs, there were some rumors going around over on the West Coast that they're not exactly thrilled with Jimmy Butler III. But I think, if your biggest criticism coming into the season was that, hey, this team's just not fun, like they're not on national TV, watching their games can be a grind because they're just outmatched every game. And when they play the top teams, you just don't feel like they have a chance. You saw it in the playoffs, man. 87 points in elimination games, games
Tough
3 and
watch.
4. Like game 3 essentially is the elimination game, right? No team has ever come back from an 0-3 record in the first round or any round of the playoffs in the NBA. Those are elimination games, and you put up 87 points in games 3 and 4. I mean, you're just outmatched. if that was your biggest criticism, which was mine, then it's been answered. At the very least, you're putting up points. It's fun. You're up and down as fast as anybody in the league. Now, is it sustainable? I don't know. How's it going to look with Tyler? I think it's going to look good. I don't know. But at the very least, you're enjoying watching this team.
Yeah, and I think Spo is proving just how high. Not that we didn't know, but like people were starting to doubt it a little bit, I feel like. And he's overhauled this entire system this year with a bunch of guys for the moment who aren't all-stars. Like the all-stars have not played. We mentioned Bam, Tyler Hero's been out, and it's Storm and Norman and everybody else. And what they're doing is very impressive. And the fact that Spo and the staff have been able to kind of overhaul, have been able to overhaul everything they do has been really impressive. And I hope that it's sustainable.
Me too. What do you think the crowd reception would be for Jimmy Butler?
Oh, he's getting
tonight?
booed. He's getting booed.
You think he gets booed?
Oh yeah. I think people are really upset about how it ended. But I will say
he didn't get booed because this isn't his official return.
Right.
He played here last year, and Steph Curry didn't play in that game. He started, and he didn't have – because we were talking about it going into that game where Hawk was saying, you know, if that's LeBron. LeBron went back to Cleveland. He wanted to have a game. Give me the ball, get out of the way, which he delivered on.
Right.
Kevin Durant goes back to Oklahoma City. I don't think KD has like any vitriol in him inside of him, but he wants like, give me the ball. Jimmy's not that guy. Like he's not the give me the ball, get out of the way in the regular season guy, and he didn't perform in any sense of the matter of give me the ball, get out of the way last year, which was the Heat ending a 10-game losing streak in March with that victory. I wonder tonight, A, does he suit up? He's questionable. If he does suit up, what the reception's going to be, and if he doesn't suit up, would he stay on the bench? I don't think he would even be on the bench for tonight.
I will say I do feel like there is a difference between how like Twitter fans feel about him and how the people who will be in the arena might feel about him. I feel like the folks in the arena might actually give him more of a mixed but more slanted towards a positive reception. But if it was the online folks, I think then you're like locked in on boos.
Yeah, so it's interesting. Somebody says Jimmy's out according to Shams. Oh, I'll double check right now. I didn't see that. I was just looking at the latest injury report.
I wonder if they're going to get fined because we had the news yesterday about the Cavs getting fined $100K for sitting everybody on the back-to-back. I wonder if the Warriors are going to have that same punishment levied against them.
Yeah, the Cavs is different though because Cleveland had a day in between.
True. Yeah, that's not a back-to-back.
This is a back-to-back.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is why you don't read text or like reports from texters because Shams has not reported that Jimmy Butler's out. Again, I'm looking at the official injury report from the NBA that was released at 3:30. There will be another one at 4:30. They get updated every hour. Jimmy Butler, as of right now, is questionable with lower back pain, and there was some people just speculating that he's expected not to play, but we'll see.
Moving on in headlines, we talked earlier about Etu Luostarinen and his hot coals for his barbecue incident. He's out after suffering burns for a couple of weeks. They say week to week for him. The Panthers did call up one of their top prospects, Jack Devine. He'll make his NHL debut tomorrow. Was excellent. I believe he had the most points in college hockey his final season in college. So he'll make his Panthers debut. And the league today also revealed both the Rangers and the Panthers Winter Classic uniforms. I know we're up against it here, but I do want to get into your thoughts on the uniform release. I'll go through what some of the breakdown of the different aspects of the uniform as well are later in the show. I know Solana's not the biggest fan of them.
Yeah, text it in right now. We'll talk about it later. Text it in 305-567-0560. Do you like the Panthers' new Winter Classic uniforms? What was the reception on social media today, Appel?
Mostly positive, but definitely a smattering of what the hell is this?
Yeah, because the cat itself, like the actual the panther, is just weird.
That would be my only critique, and we can get into it now or we can wait. But that would be my only critique. Is I wish they had gone with the original leaping cat with the broken hockey stick. This is supposed to be a tribute to that, but it almost looks like an AI slop version of a Panthers alternate logo. I love the shoulder logo. The shoulder patch logo is sick. Get me that on a hat right now. I like the throwback stripes that are inspired by a tropical hockey league that was down here in South Florida a billion years ago.
So we're just gonna get into it right now.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a little, no. That's a little taste of the takes for later.
All right, Jersey talk. Don't miss it. Coming up later. What a
Jock.
tease. What a tease.
Jersey talk.
Jersey
Jock.
talk. Yeah, Jock.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Thank
you. Anything else? By the way, I owe man, I'm such a jackass. I owe Miami Sports 72 an apology because Shams Charania did not tweet that Jimmy
he said it on
Butler's not
TV?
expected to play, but he did say it on TV. So Miami Sports 72 on our chat on YouTube. I'm sorry, you were correct. I see that you were 100% correct. I wasn't paying attention to Twitter, and I apologize. So he was correct. According to Shams Charania, he's not expected to play. By the way, that shouldn't be shocking news. This was a nationally televised game. It's taken off national TV a week ago. Jimmy Butler coming back to Miami. By the way, a Heat team playing well, and the Warriors playing decently well after those two big wins against San Antonio. It's stripped away from ESPN, and they're on the second night of a back-to-back. From the second I saw that, Hawk and Crowder were trying to make it seem like, see, nobody wants to watch the Heat. I saw the schedule, and I said, no.
Nobody's playing it.
The Warriors either tipped off the NBA because the NBA would have been pissed if this was on ESPN. ESPN would have been pissed. No Steph Curry, no Jimmy Butler, no Draymond Green, no Kuminga. And I think everybody kind of just looked at that one and said, yeah,
Maybe next time.
Maybe we'll catch you on the other side.
Your weather, temperatures in the low 80s. Beautiful day out in South Florida, mid to late November already. Thanksgiving's next week. That is your weather, sponsored by ChillZone AC, featuring reliable root AC systems. Make your AC great again. Visit chillzoneac.com.
So I know anytime we talk soccer on this show, whether Hawk and Crowder are here or not, there's a lot of people who tune out. They say it's not for me. And I understand that. But if you're one of those people, I'm going to tell you stick around for next segment because here's why. All right, we got to lock in. We got an MLS playoff game on Sunday. This is, in my opinion, the best chance Leo Messi will probably have to go win an MLS Cup. So if you even care like an ounce about it, if you're the person sitting in your car who is just waiting for Messi not to make it to then be like, oh, see, failed experiment, then you at the very least owe it to us to stick around and listen to an update on what the matchup is going to be against FC Cincy.
FC Cincy, very good.
Very good.
This will be a tough test for old Inter Miami.
They beat Inter Miami once this season. And I think
literally old Inter Miami.
Yeah, they drew against Inter Miami the other time. So it'd be their first win. We're going to talk about it coming up on the other side. Josh Appel is in for Hawk. Crowder stepped out a little early today. He'll be back with us tomorrow. Appel will be with us tomorrow as well. I'm Solana. We'll be back on Hawkman, Crowder, and Solana after this commercial break. Chris Whittingham will join us next.
This is Hawk, Crowder, and Solana.
I don't think you could offer me any money for my dog. I love my dog.
I got 100,000 cash.
Take him. Jimmy, go to hell, man.
This is a protest song about the U.S., though.
Go to hell, Jimmy. You gonna play Born in the USA? You want to fight?
Nah, not now.
I was thinking of wearing my U.S. men's national team jersey today. And yeah, I'm born in the U.S. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. It's so embarrassing.
Did you move into the Outlaws section last night?
There's no chance. There's no chance by the American Outlaws. Like, they've got the one thing where they all just they clap, and then but basically it's everybody clap your hands. Just they think it looks cooler. And then I sound like such a hater right now, man. Such a hater because Uruguay got their ass beat last night. But it's just the chance just don't hit. Anyways, I guess we got to do this. We got to talk with Chris Whittingham after it's literally worst possible timing for me because I can't avoid talking about Uruguay and the U.S. men's national team. Our favorite soccer broadcaster, Chris Whittingham.
Whoa! I'm sitting right here.
Again, I repeat, our favorite soccer broadcaster and host. And truthfully, it's Whitty 1, Daniel Solana 2, then XFL 3. Commentator and host at CBS Sports, MLS commentator, Apple TV joins us on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Whitty, we've got a massive Inter Miami playoff game coming up, second round of the MLS playoffs. The farthest Inter Miami has ever reached and has probably the highest expectations because they got out of the first round that they've ever had under or with Leo Messi. But I guess I have to start with the U.S. men's national team. I'll put my emotions aside because I'm gutted about Uruguay's performance last night. That was wildly impressive by the U.S. men's national team, who I don't want to call them a B squad that played yesterday, but it was a lot of players that they were missing at the top level.
Mauricio Pochettino would be very offended if you called them a B squad. He got very upset
was,
about this after the game.
Yeah,
he got very upset. There are no B players. There are no reserves. It is just the players that wear the shirt of the U.S. men's national team took the field. Yeah, I mean, you say sort of a completely dominant, but also completely surprising in my view. I did not see that coming in every respect. Now, I know that Uruguay are a side that are struggling a little bit. There's a little bit of a crisis now around the coach, and I think a lot of that conversation will ramp up now because of this victory. But I think what you saw in the game was a level of fight that we don't really see very often from the U.S. men's national team that I think Pochettino has absolutely instilled into them. And it's the level of quality play, brilliant goals, and ideas. And I think a lot of people expected this to happen quickly, that because the United States were hosting the World Cup, because a lot of people perceived Greg Berhalter to be a bad coach, that by bringing in a coach with European pedigree, a coach who's done so much in the European game, that from one day to the next, it would be this incredible transformation. But I think he has undergone a process over a length of time. I kind of was on the call for towards the beginning of it. They lost to Panama in the semifinal of the CONCACAF Nations League in March. And that was a real eye-opener for him in terms of the work that he felt he had to do, just instill a sense of what I think people, if they do like the U.S. men's national team, like about them, which is grit, outrunning, outplaying, and out-athleting their opponents, which they kind of lost in the pursuit of trying to play the game on the level of other teams when, as yet, they're not quite good enough to do that. So I think Pochettino has undergone this process and given him a ton of credit for getting to this point, because I think it's probably the best result for the U.S. men's national team since they last won a knockout game, really, at the World Cup, which would have been in 2002. I guess you can say getting beyond the group stage and beating some top-level opponents in 2014 and 2022. But this is an impressive result, as we've seen from a very long time for the U.S.
So, Whitty, do you think that this performance is a flash in the pan, one time, only got a good night type deal, or is this something that, especially when they get back Pulisic and McKinney and Tyler Adams, when those guys, the A-team, when those guys join the lineup again, join the group, is this something that now you can kind of set your expectations for, or is this just Team USA catching Uruguay on a bad night?
I think a little bit of both. I do think that this is Uruguay at their absolute worst, and I'm sure Solana knows what the high level of that looks like and what the low level of that looks like. But also, you look at the last 5 games for the U.S., they've won 4 and they've drawn 1 against a pretty high-level opposition. 3 teams from South America, Japan, who will expect to compete well at the next World Cup, and a draw against Ecuador and a win against Australia. So I think it's all teams that they're playing now that will be at the World Cup. There'll be another set of tests for them in March. They're supposed to play against Portugal and against Belgium during that window. And if we start to see this side be competitive against teams of that level, you start to say, you know what, then they can be competitive against teams of that level at the World Cup. But I guess the one thing that does sort of dull this sort of momentum, I guess if you can call it, is that they don't play again until March. And so it's 4 long months of trying to keep something together, hoping players hit a level of form at club level, maintain a level of health as well over the course of that period. But I think what Pochettino has done over this window is show that the pool can go 20, 25 deep, which was not often the case. You kind of could pick the starting 11 or Greg Berhalter fairly easily. And now those spots are up for grabs, which I think a lot of people thought was sort of manufactured competition, but now it seems to be genuine competition in this group of players.
Whitty, before we move to Inter Miami, one more question regarding international play. Haiti clinched a spot in the World Cup, first time in 50 years.
That was awesome.
That Haiti clinched a spot in the World Cup. And for those who don't know, there are more teams in the World Cup this year, but Haiti was in a group with, I believe, Honduras. And I know they beat Nicaragua yesterday, but there's one more team that I'm missing there. I think Costa Rica. Oh, we lost Chris Whittingham. We'll try to get him back here for a second.
Did you see them after winning their match on cell phones, huddled up on the pitch, waiting for that Costa Rica-Honduras game to finish?
Right. So Costa Rica
cool.
was in that group. Honduras. These are teams who have frequented the World Cup out of CONCACAF. And Haiti isn't even playing their games at home. They've been playing them in Curacao because of, the ongoing situation in the country of Haiti. The fact that they made a World Cup is no joke. One of, in my opinion, Woody, correct me if I'm wrong, one of the craziest stories in sports in a very long time.
That's a great point. Just because of the backdrop of everything that you say,
Right.
which is that everything that's going on in that country, the number of people that have fled, the way that the country is being run right now. I'm not going to get into Haitian politics, but I know that it's an incredibly difficult situation for a lot of people there. Right. It's an incredibly difficult situation for a lot of people that live in Miami, that, one of the bigger expat communities for Haitians. And so the fact that now that they have something to rally around, something that reminds them why they love their country, why they love being Haitian, I think is absolutely beautiful. And it is kind of a bummer. That would have been a home game. That would have been a home game they would have been playing and clinched the World Cup. And they also, the fans in the stands would have been watching their phones. So I think in that respect, it's a little bit of disappointment. But yeah, I mean, I think we're seeing it because of the 16 spots that have been added, a number of teams that have gone a very long time without being at the World Cup. And I think we're seeing in this qualification cycle, it lead to a greater sense of joy really around world football. I think, honestly, the 3 best moments that we've seen in this year have happened in the last week. Haiti qualifying, Scotland qualifying was amazing yesterday as well. Their first time since 1998. And even the Republic of Ireland making the playoffs was an amazing scene. And these things would not be possible in the previous format. I don't think that countries of this quality would be there. And I think in the overall, obviously Gianni Infantino gets a lot of blame, and he is not the most likable figure in the world. And there's a lot of things that are fairly loathsome, but expanding the World Cup, I think, has been an absolute win so far. We'll see if that translates next year when we get to the actual thing. And I think the expanded Club World Cup was an absolute win over the summer as well. So I have to give them a modicum of credit for basically making the other parts of the world besides major European football and the top South American teams accessible to something that the world loves.
Chris Whittingham, again, he's an MLS broadcaster on Apple TV. He's a soccer commentator as well for CBS Sports. Whitty, let's get into Inter Miami this Sunday. Win or go home, single elimination. They're going to play against a team. I don't know if I'd call them a rival, but certainly they've had some really good matches in the past couple years since Messi's been here. Plus, Appel is basically calling them Inter Miami Light because a bunch of ex-Inter Miami players are over there. What do people who maybe don't really follow Inter Miami, don't follow the MLS, what do they need to know about this game on Sunday?
Well, I think, first off, the most important thing is that it's away from home. I think they've been very good at home this year at Chase Stadium, and they've kind of figured out how to play there. But now you're going to go into an incredibly difficult environment in FC Cincinnati, where I think that's going to be a sold-out stadium. I think we saw in the earlier away match that they played this year, it's not one of these places where you go and you see a lot of pink in the crowd, there are not a lot of Messi tourists that will be there. It will be an incredibly pro-Cincinnati crowd. They will be hostile towards Messi. I believe in the game that they played there earlier this year, they booed every time he touched the ball. Basically, not as like we hate Messi, but in terms of you're not coming here and getting a kind crowd, a bunch of people that are just happy to see you. No, this is an incredibly competitive game. So I think the fact that it's away from home makes it really hard. And I think so far this season, when you look at how Cincinnati have played, they have been a team where their performances aren't great, but they always seem to win. And that's how they ended up as the second seed in the East. If you look at the advanced analytics, they don't actually show as a very good team, but yet their record in 1-goal games really for the last 2 or 3 years has been really good in 1-goal situations. Sorry, I keep stepping on you, bud.
Yeah, I thought you were stopping both times. We've done plenty of shows together, literally going back to when we were teenagers. It's amazing we don't have the chemistry somehow in 2025. But I want to ask you, given that they're going into that environment, the Inter Miami hasn't been as good on the road, how do they overcome those circumstances? Is it just, hey, they need Leo Messi to have a couple of Leo Messi moments? If not, they're screwed.
I mean, it could be. It could be. I will say, though, the game 3 that they played against Nashville in the first round of the playoffs was a real indication that they can form a more collective identity. I'm sorry, Solana, there's just one problem. That collective identity was formed while Luis Suarez was out suspended for the game. And I really do think that there was something in the way that they played in that game without Suarez that they were much more athletic, they were much more mobile, they're much more difficult to play against because you can carry Messi, but I'm not certain you can carry 2 and 3 guys that aren't there performing their defensive responsibilities. I think you saw in the game, there was that real sense of collectivity. So I think if Suarez goes back into the starting lineup, which you would almost certainly assume that he will, I think it becomes much more of a moments team, and you have to win the moment. Cincinnati absolutely can too, because they've got some really top-level players in Kevin Denke and Evander that have been superb this season. But it's on Suarez, it's on Messi to go win the moments and make sure you're not leaky defensively and giving away bad goals. But this team is not going to be overawed by Miami, which I think Nashville can be at times. And I think they can certainly get at them in vulnerable areas because they just won't be as defensively solid with Suarez in the team.
I don't disagree. By the way, Witty, I know Suarez hasn't played very well this season, and he's also missed time because of his antics on and off the field. But when you look at overall what a win means and what a loss means, I know we had touched on this about a month ago when you joined us right before the playoffs, but there's no doubt when you talk about the U.S. trying to grow the game and the MLS trying to grow the game and trying to make soccer, more liked so we don't get texts when you come on to talk about the MLS of people upset. Messi moving on here is certainly ideal for the MLS. But again, do you think this is one of those where like they genuinely care about the result in these games? Because I think they do. I really think Messi wants to win an MLS Cup title.
Oh, man, he got absolutely riled up in that game 3 against Nashville. There was this one player for Nashville who just this 5'7", I think he's Swedish, Eddie Tagseth, and he's just a pest on the field. He's bothering everyone. I think Messi had enough, and he nutmegged him twice. And I think it was sort of that level of, I'm not having this. I'm not having going to MLS and not being successful, not being able to win MLS Cup, the trophy that everyone cares about. They won the Supporter Shield, they won Leagues Cup, but this is the thing that you judge success by in the league. This is a playoff-based system. You got to go win in the playoffs. And I know that sounds very sports talk radio-y, very hokey, but they have to win in the playoffs. And I think these are the moments where you expect Messi to deliver game in and game out. And so, yeah, I mean, there is no real pressure in that he's still the GOAT, and it doesn't really matter if you add MLS Cup to that mantle in order to legitimize him. But yeah, he absolutely wants to win. They kind of have to win in order to legitimize this entire thing that they've undergone for 2.5 years now. They have the most talent in the league. They have the greatest soccer player of all time. Go show it for 4 straight playoff rounds. And yeah, I think in some ways you almost feel bad for them a little bit because there very much is much more pressure on them losing than credit for them winning until they get to the final, which if they got to the final would be at home. But yeah, for the league, for the team, for the whole experiment, it needs to come with winning and playoff winning for sure.
I'm going to ask you the cliche playoff format question here, because before you came on, we were just recapping the fact that they've got basically a 2.5 week opening round that's 3 games if necessary, and then a week off or 2 weeks off, and then a 1 game playoff the rest of the way. Does any of that make sense to you?
Well, I do think that in some ways you have to look at the calendar. The calendar absolutely plays a big role in it. So, in order to play games after this international break, so the MLS is not in control of the schedule, right? So they have to go in accordance with FIFA, and there is an international window in November. This is part of the reason why I'm sure you've probably seen in the news that they are changing the calendar.
I was
They're
going to ask
going
about the next
right.
show.
They're going from August to May because they want to have a playoff system with momentum where it's all in one continuous period from beginning to end, and it sort of builds drama and narrative throughout. So I think the 3-game series is to kind of fill an amount of time until the November international break without completely killing the momentum of your playoffs. So I think I think in an ideal world you stick with one playoff format all the way throughout until a one-off final. But yeah, I think this system, honestly, in some ways, Miami almost benefits from having played 3 games, because if they had 3 weeks off, there are a few. I believe there are 2 teams that won their first round series in 2 games in the best of 3, and they've been off for 3 weeks. And I don't think that's very good either. So I think they almost benefit from having played. But yeah, I think this is just the nature of soccer, where these international windows pop up in the middle of the season, and you have to kind of figure out how to adjust around it.
Chris Whittingham, you're going to be on the call tomorrow. Chelsea, Barcelona, and the UEFA Women's Champions League. Where can people watch that, Woody?
That game is on Paramount Plus. So subscribe to Paramount Plus. We have a ton of soccer now. Men's, women's, international, domestic. You can find a lot of soccer. Obviously, the UEFA Men's and Women's Champions League. Serie A, which I'll be on the call for on Sunday. The Milan Derby is the probably biggest game of the year. Inter and Milan, Sunday from 2:45. Those matches are available on Paramount Plus.
Inter, top of the table, but AC Milan a couple points back, or 5
Yeah,
points
it's 1 point between the top 4 in Serie A. So Inter, Napoli, Milan, and Roma are all within 4 points of each other, or within 1 point of each other, 4 spots of each other.
Chris Whittingham, Woody, we appreciate you, and thanks for not rubbing it in about Uruguay.
Sorry, that must have been a long old drive home. Long old drive home for you. I'm sorry.
Literally the most historic loss maybe in Uruguay history, and I drove 5 hours there, watched the game, paid to watch the game, and then drove 5 hours back after the game.
Yeah, so you're getting home at 2 a.m. and all you're thinking about for the 5 hours is, Jesus, did we get destroyed tonight? Yep. And it's not even the kind of destroyed that happens over time. It was 4-0 after 38 minutes. I mean, that is apocalyptically bad.
Start to finish, there was nothing to celebrate about except for 1 goal, but you're already down 4-0, so who cares?
Yeah, right. It was a great goal, though, at least. It was a very nice goal.
Coach, thanks for coming on with us. So I have a ton of respect for you and your program, so thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Chris Whittingham, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you, Woody.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there you go. That's Chris Whittingham. We're going to take a break. Pell will explain that inside joke to me during the commercial
It was
break.
literally only for me and Woody.
Thanks for sticking with us during Soccer Talk, even if you don't love Soccer Talk. I know I kind of forced that down some of your throats. We'll get back to talking football and Panthers as well on the other side. It's the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
This is Hawk, Crowder, and Solana.
You don't know Ski Mask, the slump god?
I do not.
5 o'clock, Funky Buddha Happy Hour on the Hochman, Crowder, and Solana show. 5 o'clock already, man. Crazy. It's brought to you by our friends at Funky Buddha Brewery. Good vibes on tap. I had a Funky Buddha yesterday. It's the only thing that went right for me yesterday. Watching Uruguay get rocked 5-1 by the U.S. men's national team. I got to drown my sorrows in a Floridian, which was absolutely delicious. 5 o'clock, Funky Buddha Happy Hour. We love our friends at Funky Buddha. Who knows? Maybe Hawk is having a Funky Buddha right now. He's at Epcot. If you're just joining us, that is the latest development in the Hawk Epcot saga. Josh Appel is here with us. Crowder had to duck out a little early today. He's going to be on First Take tomorrow, so had to go travel to get there. He will be back tomorrow. Hawk will be back Friday. Appel, Solana will take you up until 6. Jimmy's here as well. Just looking here, there was a picture, Appel. Bill Belichick spotted at a cheerleading competition in Raleigh, supporting his girlfriend Jordan, who was a member of a co-ed adult cheerleading team.
I didn't know that was a thing.
What do we do with this? What I don't know what to do with this stuff anymore, man.
That's just Bill Belichick being a good boyfriend.
I mean, what's going on?
It's
here,
very
man?
bizarre, man.
Just
It's very bizarre. I saw somebody say that this should be a fantasy football punishment for last place this year, having to join an adult co-ed cheerleading team.
That's so good. I mean, there's no way. Like he's sitting there and he's saying to himself, "I'm dating a cheerleader."
A 24-year-old cheerleader.
Right?
It is so beyond bizarre. But again, being a good boyfriend, like credit to him for going to that.
Listen, I've put up with more to have sex too. You know what I mean? Like I get it, man. And I'm not hating on Bill Belichick. Like, hey, I gotcha. I gotcha. But also, what are we doing?
There has to be a line that we draw somewhere. It's like, hey, honey, you go to your cheerleading thing. Best of luck. You'll tell me
100%.
all about it when you're back home.
Right. Like he didn't have a meeting scheduled that he just couldn't miss, a coordinator's meeting that he just could not miss at that exact same time.
I've got a recruiting visit coming. They've got a game. They play Duke this weekend. It's Duke week.
And he's out scouting the adult co-ed cheerleading team.
Oh, if I'm a booster at North Carolina and Chapel Hill and it's Duke week and Manny Diaz and those guys are coming in, and I'm at an adult cheerleading competition for my 24-year-old girlfriend, whoa, I'm not happy about that.
Tough, man. That's tough. The Florida Panthers, we'll get to headlines in a second. The Florida Panthers are going to play in the Winter Classic. And today, the uniforms were released by the NHL of the Rangers, who the Panthers will play, the Rangers uniform and the Florida Panthers uniform for the upcoming Winter Classic game. That's going to be January 2nd. I'll be there. I don't know. Did you get tickets for this game or no?
I haven't spoken about this publicly, but I'm actually working the game.
Are you?
Yeah, so Sports USA is doing the winter. They have the rights to the NHL, so they do the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference Final, the Stanley Cup, select playoff games, and all of the outdoor games. And this year, I am the ringside reporter for the Winter Classic.
How about that?
USA.
How about that?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be there too. I'm working the game as well.
I'll
for
wave to you.
WQAM. I'm the reporter.
Are you really?
Yeah, for WQAM.
Sick. All right. Hey, listen, Solana and I at the Stanley Cup Final this year, we a little toot our own horns a little bit. We crushed it with those post-game interviews.
I thought we did a good job.
Solana and Brad Marchand had a moment.
Mm-hmm.
He asked Vitek Vanacek whether he thought he should have been the starting goalie over Sergei Bobrovsky.
Good question.
We were getting the hard-hitting news. So it feels like this is a reward for both of us for the great work we did after Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final this year.
I'm excited for the Winter Classic. I've never been. I can scratch that off my my sporting event bucket list because I've been to a Super Bowl. I'll go to a World Cup game this upcoming year. I've never been to a World Cup game. And now I've been to a Winter Classic, been to Stanley Cup Finals, all that good stuff. What do you think, Appel, about these jerseys? Because no joke, I love the Florida Panthers. I think they have the coolest retro logo maybe in sports with the OG Panther, the cat. And I don't know what the hell they did with this cat. And I don't even think it's the Panthers. Like, this is the NHL that designs these jerseys. Because for those that don't know, for the Winter Classic, the teams who play in the Winter Classic get a unique jersey just for that game every single season.
I love the general retro look with the colors and the stripes. I'm a big fan of all of that, and I don't even mind the leaping cat that's on here. Here's how the uniform and the logo is described: a leaping cat reimagined, a tribute to the fans. Our vintage take on the original leaping cat is executed with felt and chain stitching that evoke hockey's traditional craftsmanship. Overthought it here because it looks a little emaciated, if I'm being honest. It looks like a hairless cat.
That's exactly what it looks like. What are those cats? Jimmy, look that up. What are those cats that are hairless?
Hairless cats.
Like a sphinx?
Isn't the Sphinx the thing in Egypt?
I don't know. Look it up, Jimmy. What are the hairless cats called?
You nailed it. It's a sphinx.
A sphinx.
Cat.
I told you.
A sphinx cat.
What am I thinking of?
I had
Mr. Bigglesworth.
I have this weird memory of 5th grade. I'm in love with this girl. Her name was Shayna. And
you got a co-ed cheerleading competition for Shayna?
No, I would have. And her name was Shayna, and she lived right around the corner from me. We used to go hang out. We would go home from school together. We'd walk home, and she had 2 sphinxes in her house. And it was the weirdest thing. I didn't want to go to her house because looking at a hairless cat. Now this conversation got weird, but was just bizarre. Was just bizarre.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that will be my only sticking point because I love the colors. I love everything else. I love the shoulder patch. I love the stripes. There's a hidden rat on the seam on the bottom of the jersey.
Here's my problem. Appel. You can describe the jersey details to me. I'm a big just vibes guy. I'm looking at the jersey eye test guy. This is the original Florida Panthers home jersey prior to them updating the logo and kind of rebranding, right? So this is the Leaping Cat red jersey. It's got the blue top. It's got the yellow stripe going through it. They make the Leaping Cat bad. It looks bad. It doesn't look appealing. And then there's gold shorts, which just don't match with the aesthetic of the Florida Panthers at all. It just doesn't look good.
I don't mind the shorts. Like I said, the only thing that I'm kind of iffy on is the Leaping Cat. I would have loved just the regular throwback original 93 cat or the one that has the broken stick in the paws and the claws, whatever you want to call it. Overall, though, I'm not going to sit here and like dissect every little thing about this jersey because it's pretty freaking cool that this team is playing in a winter classic, not just a stadium series game, a winter classic, like the premier outdoor event for the NHL. The Florida Panthers are hosting it, and it's going to be down here in Miami at Lone Depot Park.
Yeah. I'm not debating.
And I feel like a lot of times when uniforms like this get released, and you see like the pictures of it and the photo shoot version, there are all these hot takes, and then you see that on the ice, in person, and those takes soften up a little bit.
But here's the thing: I don't care how they look on the ice. I swear, I care how they look on me.
Oh, I'm going to buy 100 of these.
Right, but that's the point. Like, these are supposed to be one-time, unique, special occasion jerseys for the fans. That's what these are for. Like, nobody's watching the game because of the uniforms. They're like this is a money grab for the NHL, and they botched it.
I'm not going to say
they botched it.
I'm not going to say
they botched it.
Now, if they don't have this shoulder patch logo on every single hat that they're selling, then they botched that.
That is fire. Maybe that's like a soft launch for alternate Florida Panthers logo in the future.
The circular shoulder patch logo with the red lining and the circle and the Florida and the Panther logo. Oh, it is phenomenal. And if those hats exist, I hope they do. I'm buying 100 of them with all 800 of the jerseys that I buy.
Nothing like jersey talk.
Do
I love jersey talk. Let's do headlines here before I got to head out to the Heat game. The Heat are playing the Warriors, so Appel's going to stick around and finish out the show for us. Let's do headlines here. They're brought to you by Doral Hyundai, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit us at Doral Hyundai or DoralHyundai.com. I'm just seeing a text here, Appel. You told me during the break, you started the show yesterday. You filled in for all of us yesterday that you have a plan.
Yeah.
You're going to clean out the Coke Zero aisle in the vending machine.
Yeah, both of them.
Right. There's two. So Hawk was just on a tear over the past month, having to come in, and the vending machines weren't restocked. And he posted video about it, and he complained on the air about it. He loves Coke Zero. He
For
calls
weeks.
it the nectar of the gods. And you have this brilliant idea to troll Hawk. We're going to clean out the Coke Zero. We're just going to go in there, spend $50, and buy out all the Coke Zero and hide them.
So I was just going to take him home and split him amongst the three of us. If Crowder was in amongst the four of us, Jimmy and I first pitched it to Jimmy yesterday and said that we should just drink the soda. And then Jimmy brought up a great point, which was that might make our stomachs hurt. So we could just buy it and then take him home. This is maybe one of the best ideas I've ever come up with in my entire life. And I hope that between the three of us, maybe Dan Day will join in. Maybe we'll get Len to do so as well. And we can all pool together and get all 12 Coke Zeros out of the vending machine before Friday when Hawk is back.
I think Jimmy genuinely would clean that entire Coke Zero column out himself either way. So this is a no-brainer for Jimmy. I tell Jimmy, he spends more money at that vending machine than anybody. I said, Jimmy, just go to Publix, buy a 12-pack of Coke Zero, put them in the fridge, and nobody's going to drink them. There's nobody here. Nope. He likes it out of the vending machine.
Well, I try bringing them, but people drink them.
Oh, I mean, now you just caught me red-handed. I had Jimmy buying me free sodas.
Nobody drinks them except for me.
Go ahead, Appel. What do we have for headlines?
So you mentioned the Heat. They play tonight against the Warriors. Tip coming up at 7:30. Bam expected to play. Everybody out, essentially, for the Golden State Warriors. Solana will be on with preheat at
6:15.
There you go. And then Tommy Tighe will be on as well before the Miami Heat audio experience takes over. Jason Jackson, of course, as he does for every Heat game. Dolphins, they're on a bye this week. They have the Saints and the Jets coming up after the bye week. Jordan Brooks was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week for the second time this season. 20 tackles against the Commanders. Now, Myles Garrett had, I think, 4 sacks in the Ravens game over the weekend, and he was snubbed by Jordan Brooks for the second time this season for AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Pipe down over there, Myles Garrett. All right? Irrelevant. Anyways, Shedeur Sanders, speaking to the Browns, Shedeur Sanders will make his first career start on Sunday against the Raiders, and our long national nightmare is over. He's finally getting his well-deserved first-team reps, so that talking point can go away. Hopefully, for his sake, he plays well on Sunday against a terrible Raiders defense on the road. Panthers, they're back in action tomorrow against the Devils. Jack Hughes, Devils' best player, he is out for a couple of months, sliced his finger at a team dinner last week. And unfortunately, the Panthers are also dealing with a bizarre injury of their own. Eetu Luostarinen out week to week after suffering burns from a barbecue incident,
That's
according
crazy,
to Paul
man.
Maurice.
That is a crazy situation. Suffering burns from a barbecue incident.
Terrible.
I got to get a pic of his barbecue. Like, what's his setup? Because if he's just got I'm
going to do some digging.
Little charcoal grill in his backyard, that's embarrassing. If he's got, big time grill, then I can see where something may go awry.
Look, I didn't just end up as the rinkside reporter for the Winter Classic for no reason. I will get to the bottom of this and work my sources. Let me tell you. Hopefully he's able to come back sooner rather than later. More bad injury news. Cole Schwint, who had played well for the Panthers on that fourth line, out 2 to 3 months. Collided with Sergei Bobrovsky in Monday's win against the Canucks. Broke his arm, needs surgery. He'll get that surgery once the swelling goes down. The Panthers have 7 regulars out of the lineup due to injury. That is tied for the most in the league. 6 of those 7 are forwards. Dmitry Kulikov's absence on that third pair of the defense, they're feeling that a little bit.
Do you want to guess what the line is? Miami hosting Golden State. No Steph Curry, no Draymond Green, probably no Jimmy Butler either, no Jonathan Kuminga. I mean, this is really a Golden State Warriors team without pretty much anybody. Did you just look up? I just asked you to guess the line, and I saw you.
I was looking up.
I don't know if you know how to play this game, Appel.
No, I have one more note for headlines, and I was getting that ready before. I'm going to guess the line is 9.5. Heat or favorite.
You looked it up.
I swear to God I didn't.
You looked it up.
Look at the screen.
Well, I mean, you can exit out a browser as well.
My hands have been in the air since you called me out for looking up the Hurricane schedule this Saturday.
You're pretty good at this then. Miami is minus 10.5 hosting.
If I looked
Golden
it up
State
and
Warriors.
saw that it was 10.5, why wouldn't I say 10.5?
That's crazy. 10.5 point favorites against the Golden State Warriors tonight.
Yeah, that Would it surprise you, though, if he'd end up fumbling this one?
No, wouldn't surprise me.
Because they did it against the Cavs. I know the
Happens
Cavs
all the time.
didn't have as many guys out, but they didn't have Mobley, they didn't have Mitchell, and the Heat found a way to lose that one.
I think the Cavs are a deeper team, though. You want to guess Norman Powell over/under on points tonight?
I'm gonna
That's what I wanted you to do. We didn't have to get to it. 23.5 tonight. 23.5. Bam Adebayo was at 18.5. Again, Bam expected to play.
Miami, the Hurricanes. This is what I looked up on the computer. They are on the road this weekend at Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Tough place to play always. Enter Sandman, all that stuff. Virginia Tech introduced James Franklin as their new football coach today. Obviously, he won't take over until after the season. But Virginia Tech feeling good about themselves. Miami's dealing with all the noise about the college football playoff and being leapfrog. Well, not leapfrog, but Notre Dame being put so far ahead of them and all the nonsense going on with the playoff committee right now. And Miami then will finish up the season against Pitt on the 29th on that Saturday after Black Friday. Your weather, another beautiful day in South Florida. Sun's going down, sun setting. Temperatures will be in the high 70s tonight. And again, another beautiful day in South Florida. That's your weather, sponsored by Chill Zone AC, featuring reliable root AC systems. Make your AC great again. Visit chillzoneac.com.
All right, so here's what's going to happen after duck out. I got to head to a Miami Heat game. We'll be live at 6:15 on Preheat. Josh Appel is going to finish out this show for us. Coming up in the next segment, we're going to replay our conversation earlier today. Zach Gelb joined the show as he does every single Wednesday at 2:30, and I thought it was a really good conversation. We talked to Gelb about the Dolphins, whether or not from a national perspective anybody's buying this 2-game win streak, whether or not Mike McDaniel can save his job. Plus, I know a lot of Hurricanes fans, you're fired up about where the Hurricanes are ranked right now compared to where Notre Dame is ranked in the latest CFP poll. We talk about that with Gelb as well. So that's coming up next. Appel, I'll see you tomorrow.
Can't wait.
And Appel will close out this show with Jimmy. Crowder will be back tomorrow. I'll be in tomorrow with Josh. Hawk will be back on Friday. More 5 o'clock Funky Buddha Happy Hour coming up on the Hochman, Crowder, and Solana show.
This is Hawk, Crowder, and Solana.
I'm going to flip your chair over if I wasn't in this wheelchair.
WQAM.